I still remember it, as vivid now as it was those 5 years ago, the day everything changed. People have many names for it now. The skyfall, the day of calamity, the reckoning, and of course, the burning. Though its anniversary marks the end of the primordial incursion, it is not a day of celebration nor festival. It is a day of remembrance, of fear, and of quiet contemplation. For above all, that was the day the gods vanished. As the Vale's elite fight for control of the region, grasping and clawing for power in the vacuum created by the events surrounding the burning, the common folk are faced with the uncertainty brought on by the ever-growing list of factions vying for control of the many cities and kingdoms of the Vale. Outside the walls of these cities, where the cutthroat politics and warring factions are the main dangers, is a world of vastly untamed wilderness. Though the civilizations of the region may be dangerous and corrupt, they represent points of light in a vast darkness. Only those with true means of protecting themselves have even the smallest chance of survival when faced with the foreboding darkness of the burnt lands.
You have been chosen, each and every one of you, for a reason. That reason is unique for each of you. Some of you because of who you are. Others because of what you have accomplished thus far. And the rest for the potential that lies within you, waiting to come to the surface. This charter beyond the God's Wall will shape the kingdom of Briarwood, if not the entire realm of mortals, in this age of ash and in the ages to come. You chosen few will lead us in the refounding of the Vale of L'Oreal, in the name of the kingdom of Briarwood and the dawn. Now go forth and bring glory upon our kingdom. The hope of the realm is upon you, and the faith of Briarwood shall be with you every step of the way. We open on complete blackness. We can just make out the faint sounds of crackling embers emerging from the silence. Along with the sounds comes a dim orange light, slowly illuminating the dark space. The outline of a figure comes into focus. They're back to us as they sit in this dimly lit room. Our vision slowly creeps off to one side of the figure, giving us a better look over their armored, silhouetted shoulder. Beyond the figure, we see they sit at a large, aged wooden table. Upon it, a bowl-shaped vessel, no larger than what a tavern may serve their daily stew inside. But from within the stone vessel comes the source of the dim light in faint crackling. Smoldering embers gently pulsing with a warm orange glow. Our vision lifts from the embers within the vessel to the far side of the table, as slowly from the shadows comes another figure. Still obscured by darkness, though leaning somewhat closer into the low light. Hunched and covered with tattered old robes, what were likely once white, now stained with many decades, if not centuries, of wear and grime. A quiet voice raises above the smoldering crackles of the embers within the vessel, seemingly the continuation of an ongoing conversation. Yes, yes. You've traveled a long way, weary wanderer. The dark figure in the foreground shifts in their chair, seemingly to nod affirmatively in response. Indeed, time is of the essence. The hunched figure extends a long robed arm out towards the stone vessel. As it draws near, the embers within begin to shift from the low orange light to one of pure white heat. As the intensity of the light grows, the darkness surrounding the robed figure is slowly burnt away. Thin, aged fingers creep out from beneath the worn cloth draping. Cracked gray skin stretched taut against elongated knobby bones, and long yellowing nails, sharpened to points, scrape at the edges of the stone rim. Before reaching into the vessel and scooping the white-hot embers within a fist. Without the anticipated hiss or smell of burning flesh, the long fingers unfurl, palm facing up, the embers burning ever brighter, until slowly we see white flame begin to lick up around them. With the other hand, we see the figure slowly pull back the dirty, ragged hood, revealing the weathered and wrinkled face of an elderly woman, aged well beyond the regular lifespan of any mortal being. Her milky white eyes seem to somehow see nothing and everything all the same. As the old crone focuses upon the white flame dancing in her palm, she speaks. Dawn will come. The path is forged. The chosen shall step forth from the darkness as embers burn out for a final time. Towers shall crumble as chaos washes over the land. One shall pass through flame, and the chains of darkness will be broken. The path is forged. Dawn will come. Her fingers slowly close around the embers once more, placing them delicately back into the vessel, the white light once again fading to the dim orange from before. She shrouds her face once more from within the weathered old robes and slowly leans back into the shadows. Our view still over the armored shoulder of the figure across the table from the now shadow-veiled old crone. The embers continue to fade until darkness sweeps over the scene. We hear the shifting of a wooden chair, followed by the sounds of heavy armor groaning and clinking. A few footfalls and the creaks of an old door. Now only left with the sounds of the embers. And then something else. A distant sound, barely noticeable. The sound of air moving in rhythmic pattern. And then those and the sound of the embers fade away into nothing. From the darkness, a scene begins to slowly fade into existence. As it does, a gruff voice of a man calls out in what sounds like a large stone chamber. The murmur and cheers of a crowd can be heard accompanying him as well. You have been chosen, each and every one of you, for a reason. Though the scene playing out visually bears no apparent connection to the words being spoken, or whom they may have come from, we see a man turning his gaze from a small river city, something catching his attention to the north. As he turns, we see what looks to be white-hot flames dancing across the reflection of his goggles. The tattered cloak he wears can't be doing anything to protect him from the heat he surely feels, even at this great distance. We watch the man's shoulders slump under the weight of what must have been a harsh journey. Curiously, though, he doesn't appear equipped for long travel. We watch his left hand wander to his pocket, where he pulls a coin that seems to carry much more meaning than monetary value. A sigh of relief washes over the man as he watches the bright light rain down across the countryside. In that moment, he realizes that no one would know who he was, his past, erased in an instant.
That reason is unique for each of you. Some of you because of who you are.
Now our vision shifts. We travel as the crow flies, moving quickly beyond the relative safety of high city walls, rushing above the many small villages that lie on the outskirts, scattered haphazardly along the well-traveled road, further and further away from the mighty city of Briarwood. We come to a sign reading Road's End, a tavern surrounded by mud-caked patrons streaming in for a midday's ale, their eyes darting to the west of the building, trying to avoid staring at the slumped figure against the eastern wall. We close in on this figure, sporting long red hair, its color defiant amidst the browns and yellows of the world around it. We can see the defining features of an elven woman. Pointed ears, red eyes with gold flecks, alabaster skin. Tears stain her cheeks, her neck swollen and bruised, as are her thin wrists. Her tattered clothes reveal exposed ribs. Her body has little muscle mass remaining. Most drawing of our attention, though, is the figure she embraces, a human child, appearing just as frail and gaunt as the elf holding him. Immediately, we can see there is no movement in his lungs. Just as we fade out of the scene, we see panicked movement from outside the tavern and an ever-growing bright white light from somewhere in the distance.
Others because of what you have accomplished thus far.
A dimly lit workshop is suddenly illuminated from wall to wall, exposing a plethora of strange tools and devices cluttering the shelves and workbenches. A tiefling takes off a pair of dark goggles. Light from the newly illuminated ever-burning candles he has just finished dances off his golden eyes. The tiefling says something, to which responds a mechanical bird, cocking its head to one side, before flying out the door of the workshop with astonishing pace. The tiefling looks quizzically after the metal bird, before following behind. His white hair wasn't the only reminder of his age. His hip was obviously giving him a harsh reminder that he needs to take a break from time to time. He stands 6 feet tall, not the largest specimen, but his athletic physique doesn't quite match the typical physique of a tinkerer. His antelope-like horns and red skin certainly fit the bill for a typical tiefling, though. We watch as he wipes the grime from his face and horns, stepping outside into the sun. He looks off in the distance, realizing the light isn't that of the sun, but an unnatural white that illuminates the countryside. He quickly rushes back inside with a look of determination on his face.
And the rest for the potential that lies within you, waiting to come to the surface.
The camera pans over the courtyard of a luxurious estate. Neatly trimmed hedges accent the clean and orderly stone walls and iron fences surrounding the property. Our vision focuses in on a third-story window overlooking that courtyard, where we see a young boy. Reading a thick, old book. The boy has light blonde hair, bright eyes, and a handsome, striking elvish face. A frail, balding, elderly dwarf can be seen over the boy's shoulder, talking to the boy while he reads, pointing towards the yellowing pages from time to time. After a moment, we see a bright white light glare across the window pane. catching the attention of both the elven boy and the dwarf. They gaze out of the window to the north, and we watch confusion and fear come over their faces. As we can see in the reflection, a growing white light falling across the land in the distance.
This charter beyond the God's Wall will shape the kingdom of Briarwood, if not the entire realm of mortals, in this age of ash and in the ages to come.
We watch as slowly from a rocky outcropping strides a buck, cautiously creeping out from the safety of the mountainous foothills to graze upon the nutritious grass of some alpine meadow. Few moments pass before suddenly the buck is struck by a long wooden arrow driven deep into the chest cavity from somewhere far out of view. As the legs fold up under the animal and it drops to the ground, we see a figure approach from some hidden position. As the life leaves the buck, we watch the hunter place a calming hand upon it, whispering something quiet and calm. As this man begins to butcher the buck, we can see him more clearly, details standing out starkly from against the green grass surrounding him and his prize. A man, perhaps in his 30s, with longer light black hair billowing in the wind, and a full, unkempt beard. His build not particularly thick, nor is he sinewy, evidence of a man who's constantly on the move, roaming the wilds for food. His butchering of the buck is intense and focused, knowing he must secure his prize before any other predators take notice of his kill. As he expertly cuts away hunks of meat, we notice the image begin to brighten. The light slowly intensifies until the hunter himself takes pause. Standing and turning to face the camera, his eyes capture our attention, gray and piercing, as he stares. Slowly, he turns his head towards the skies as the white light continues to grow. In a panic, he drops the knife and sprints for cover granted by the mountain outcroppings nearby, crossing the grassland with long strides. The last thing we see before a total whiteout is the hunter, nearly at that perceived safety of the rocky overhang, collapse in a heap.
You chosen few will lead us in the refounding of the Vale of L'Oreal, in the name of the kingdom of Briarwood and the dawn.
We see a sky, blackened and burning, made so by the sulfurous smoke that shed from the colossal primordial titan that passed through only hours before. We see a young woman, kneeled over a downed soldier. A strong-looking man, likely a paladin from the city nearby. She wipes the soot from her cheeks and brow as she continues to tend to the bloody wound across his chest. Around her, we see a ruined war encampment. Various others dressed in the same robes and white shawl as she, hurrying around, trying to take care of the wounded and dying soldiers. The scene is that of chaos soaked in ashen blood. As she puts in the last suture, she lifts her head, platinum blonde hair, and gazes towards Centrell, only to see the city still burning. She turns south to see the Titan diminishing over the horizon, its crown parting the skies in its wake. In its wake, only more desolation. She watches in awe at the marvel of pure destruction. Soon after, we see a pure white light gradually pierce through the veil of ash and smog above. The woman looks up, her pale blue eyes widening as that light begins to fall. We see her scream out before throwing herself over the injured man she had only just aided and grasping for the holy symbol around her neck.
Now go forth and bring glory upon our kingdom.
The camera swings in a wide arc around a busy port filled with sailors, ships, and merchants. We hold on one large sailing vessel for a few moments, watching its crew unload large crates and boxes filled with exotic goods, before we travel north through the busy streets. The farther north we get, the more movement, confusion, and panic we find for the citizens of this massive city, of which can only be Briarwood. We halt our movement above an alleyway, focusing on an interaction between a young group of common-looking children and what looks to be a feline humanoid creature. The well-traveled clothes covering covering the creature, the silver gray fur of a tabaxi from some far-off place. We watch as the tabaxi offers a small wooden figurine to one of the children in the group, whom sheepishly takes the treasure as a smile creeps over his face. Before fully taking in this act, though, the camera quickly whirls around at the sight of several soldiers darting off towards the front gates of the city. We follow the soldiers to the gate, as does the curious gray tabaxi. As we approach, we see lines of soldiers moving out of the gates ahead, their arms and armor clean and untouched, their young faces marked by nerves and fear. We watch as the tabaxi almost instinctively pulls from his pack a clay ocarina and begins to play. A soft song of calm and vigor carries through the air as he marches alongside these soldiers he's only just seen, out through the gates and into the field, where we see a massive creature in the distance, made of ash and smog, marching upon the city. Behind it, a slowly growing white light.
The hope of the realm is upon you, and the faith of Briarwood shall be with you every step of the way.
We see a man of middling height, age, looks, and stature, seem to appear as if from the shadows. From somewhere between the pitched tents of this now destroyed encampment, he steps forth. His hand was steady, as was his gaze, as he raises his long sword to engage the first enemy to cross his path. The front lines had been broken when the Titan moved through. Now came the rest of them. His fighting style lacked the fluidity and grace that comes with years of formal training and field practice. Instead, he swings his blade wildly, but with effective brutality. He fought to kill and to survive. Yet one after another, the enemy advanced, each bigger than the last. Each time a body fell, it was seemingly replaced with another. Fatigue and desperation grew at pace with one another. If he could just stem the flow, perhaps reinforcements would come. But in his gut, he knew there would be no assistance. He was the only one left. We watch on as a blade swings down hard upon the exhausted man from somewhere out of frame. He quickly parries it away before it's followed by another, and then another. As the man is overwhelmed with steel, a glowing white light envelops the entirety of the scene.
Blessing of the dawn upon you, champions.
We hear the roar of a massive crowd. As our vision begins to come back into focus, now on the scene that aligns with the speech we had just heard. As the music comes in, we see the words "The Burnt" appear in big white blocky letters across the screen. They hang there for a few moments before slowly fading away, just as this new scene comes into focus. We slowly scan the room with a bird's eye view of a massive audience chamber. 10 figures stand upon a raised structure, flanked by 4 massive statues of knights. You can hear the applause of the huge crowd, but a white cloth tent surrounding the rear portion of the platform obscures your line of sight from them, and theirs from gazing upon you, keeping your identities secret from the masses of Briarwood citizens in attendance. What you can see of the room before you is breathtakingly beautiful, with marble and gold detailing throughout, exquisite tile work and massive statues of gold and intricate carvings along each wall and upon every inch of the floors and ceiling. A second platform raises before the one which you stand, bearing the weight of the massive throne of Briarwood. Standing before the throne is Lord Briar himself, addressing the group of you and the massive crowd at your backs. With every pause in his speech, the crowd stirs, hanging on every word, cheering at every heightened sentence that leaves his noble lips. You can tell the room adores him, and he plays into them with every opportunity. As the crowd roars at the end of his speech, the group of you standing within the tented area are escorted east, off the platform and through a side door. Those of you looking can catch quick glances through breaks in the canvas to see the massive crowd filling the chamber with raucous applause. The guards lead you through a long hall, past a few sets of heavy wooden doors, until you are deposited in the same room in which you waited in before this speech was made. A large dark wooden table sits in the center of the room. Wine, ale, sage water, and barley tea pitchers now sit at each corner of the table, large goblets beside them, as well as small plates of meats, cheeses, and pickled vegetables. Around the room are canvas paintings of landscapes, a few shelves of books. The far wall has multiple decorative sets of armor and weapons upon it, and the balcony that overlooks the southern portion of Briarwood, with views of the vast oceans.
Make yourselves comfortable. Your true instructions will be delivered shortly. Sir Garin, Lord Briar would like a word. Privately. Please follow me.
And you see the strong-looking, dark-haired man in his mid-40s. Let's check here. Follow this guardsman out. This is the first chance you've all gotten to speak openly with the others that have also apparently been chosen to go on this great journey beyond the God's Wall. You spent the earlier portion of the day with this group, but this is the first part of the day that you've had free to do more than just observe. Please, if everyone could take this time to describe their characters and what you are doing within the room while you wait for further instructions. If you'd like to introduce yourself to any other characters or recall anything specific, now's the time to do so.
First, can we do one of these for Michael?
That was so well done, Michael. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Great campaign. I think
We're
we
shutting
did.
it down, right? See you guys later.
We did.
Who's hosting next week?
I'm leaving you on this view because this room is fucking cool.
Yeah, it is.
Yes, it is.
These are the people in the room currently. Anyone on that platform?
Fent, who is a man of middling looks, height, and age. Thank you. Looks very, very unsure of himself. And he looks like a man that normally wouldn't be unsure of himself, so this seems out of character, and maybe he's calling attention to himself with how much he's kind of pacing back and forth and not really sure, and his eyes are definitely drifting towards this fella here. He's actively deciding whether or not he wants to go up and approach him or avoid him entirely. And so he's kind of, every once in a while, will move behind another person to kind of separate some distance. But otherwise is going to hold on approaching him.
Did it, Michael? Do you say there were chairs in this room, almost like a meal was going to be served? You're muted, so that I'm sure what you're saying is great, but
Yeah, there's a large table. There's chairs around it,
okay.
and there's also an area that has comfier looking chairs. But
Gotcha.
absolutely.
The young elvish friend, titled Stephen, who, if any of you have seen Courage Under Fire, anyone know the reference I'm about to make? Okay, well, I'm getting nothing, so.
I'm Googling it.
Vigorously
Well,
typing.
It's
I've seen this movie. I've definitely seen this movie.
I'll throw a picture in the Google Docs, or not the Google Doc, the group me, since I can't paste my snip into
Put it in the docs.
in the chat. But for those of you who have seen it, imagine Matt Damon at the end of the movie. My guy looks like he's missed a couple meals, and he is gonna kind of go over in the corner, where a comfy chair was, and just kind of sit.
The most immediately recognizable feature of Clavius is, of course, the goggles that he wears. They're fully reflective. It's unusual for a person to wear a cloak and heavy armor like he is, with a flail hanging by his side. He will give a nod to both Xerxes and Saru, who he remembers from several years ago. Almost a little bit understated of a nod, to where the other people may or may not even notice it. Those that are paying close attention, although he moves and acts in ways that assuredly means nobody's paying attention to him. For those paying close attention would know his hands move reflexively to his left pocket, and his right hand will close over a vial that hangs around his neck from a leather cord.
Anna, seeing she's the Elven woman, I cast her, because that's what we were supposed to do, but I cast her as Karen Gillan.
Oh, nice.
Oh, nice.
So I figure we got the budget, right?
Yeah.
We definitely have the budget. You're getting Matt Damon when he's like 22, so you don't have to worry about. He's not A-list yet.
No, this is good. This is good.
Well done.
Karen Gillan. Seeing Steven go, she will go and sit like close to him, and but we'll pull out like a book and sort of just begin like a notebook, and sort of just begin like looking around at everybody and just like writing. And if Steven like peek over and see, she's just sort of like writing like general like descriptions on who everybody is, or in there, and like what her impressions are of them.
What are you doing?
I find it best to be prepared. I've learned the hard way that if I don't take time to write things down, then I don't remember everything. And she'll like flip like through a notebook, and like, because you've been around her, you'll see like some of the sayings that you've heard her say. She like literally has them like written down, and then like kind of like underlined or something like that, like, or like written down like multiple times, and it'll say like, Fillmore told me this today, and then she'll have like written it like 6 or 7 times, and she'll sort of like flip back and keep writing about people.
Gotcha. Hang on a second. What's going on, Bartlett?
Yeah. He got.
He
I was about to say it showed that he was in there.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I see that Will is in here twice. I don't know if that makes a difference.
I do see that.
Bartlett, is it working for you?
I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was talking the last like 5 minutes going, Sarah's doing this.
Okay.
Okay, clearly mine's not working.
That's
Yeah.
weird.
Sorry.
It showed you. It just that's
Well,
why.
because it showed me too. Yeah, it was just for whatever reason it wasn't picking up my mic or whatnot. So I was like, well, I'll just
Gotcha.
leave. And then I left, and it was like, no, yeah, because it's full. All right,
Interesting.
game's over.
Yeah.
Game's over.
Sarah's an NPC now. Good luck, Michael.
No, you're good. Yeah, that's
Are you out
Technology.
of... Never mind. Keep going.
Oh, so Sarah's seen both Xerxes and Clavius just going to get really excited and be like, I know you guys! And he's going to run up to Clavius, seeing that Clavius actually acknowledged him, and is basically just going to be all excited and be like, hey, I remember you! We did the whole thing with, the zombies and the cave and all that. And he's even going to be like, Clavius, I even wrote you a theme song. Do you want to hear it?
So Clavius, when Saru first started saying that, would have regretted the nod. But at the idea of having his own theme song, he is actually very intrigued.
Seeing that I guess we can't see his eyes light up, but I don't know. Seeing the expression kind of curious on Clavius' face, Michael, play that low lumbering theme song that I gave you.
I think it played.
So
did.
what I
I
heard
hear
it. What is that?
Will you play it one more? Will you play it one more time? Because it was
It
really
was pretty
quiet.
quiet,
I
but
tried to turn it up all the way. Amazing.
Love
What? So
Nice.
what instrument does Saru do that tune on?
that would have been a horn. Like a very quiet little horn.
They make quiet horns.
Yes, they
Well, I
do,
put my
apparently.
hand over the front of it. Like trumpets, they have that plug you can put in it. I just use my hand. I don't have no plug. Because I didn't feel like,
That-
we're in a hall.
That was quite adequate. Thank you, Saru.
I know that was
And- What?
Go ahead, bro.
Oh, I was going to say, and then hearing that Clavius was, excited, I basically just run over to Xerxes and be like, Xerxes, remember when we did that thing with the zombies in the cave and everything? And I wrote you a theme song. Do you want to hear it?
So I'll go ahead and you can hear me, right? I'm now nervous. Okay.
Yep. Gotcha.
So, obviously Xerxes is a tiefling with red skin, white hair. He's solidly middle-aged, if not giving up there in age. Obviously he stands out in a crowd with his glowing white eyes as well. So he's very uncomfortable with this whole thing. He'd rather be anywhere else. He had acknowledged Clavius before with a nod back, understanding that's really all that Clavius wanted. Seeing a comfy chair, he definitely sat down and just mentally prepared himself with his inevitable reunion with Saru. Saru, it's good to see you again. I would of course love to hear your theme song.
Oh, but I thought you were going to decline. I was ready to be like, we'll try again later. Michael, play that lovely, lovely chicken dance. If
There
it
it goes.
plays.
So what? Again, what is making that happen?
Say that again, Connor.
What is? I now imagine Anna has completely stopped writing and is just watching Saru with this unwrapped attention after, because I know it was quiet, but I imagine you could hear a pin drop in this room. It's so awkward. So what
Definitely.
was what? So you played the horn again, but what made the sound?
I clapped.
Okay.
I
Okay.
clapped in an attempt to mimic
Yep.
out of game. I mimicked one of Nate's attacks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I understand what Nate's character is. I understand. I've
yeah.
never heard anything like that before, so we'll dance around it. But okay, so
That's amazing.
okay. All right. So all right.
Yeah, so Xerxes is amused. He's amused even at the jaded tiefling.
Did you smile? Did Xerxes
I
smile?
definitely smile. I said, "Thank you, sir." I was not expecting
Sarah's elated. Sarah's fantastic. That's all I got for now.
Can't hear you, Croft.
Oh, sorry. Nice catch, Marshall.
Yep.
Isabel's a thin woman, standing about 5'1.5", and she has a refined bit of a saunter and reserved posture as she moves over to the table and quickly pours herself a glass of wine, or goblet of wine, I suppose. You can easily tell as she kind of slouches against the table. She has these half-glazed eyes covering her sort of piercing, pale, crystal blue irises that still manage to kind of have this shimmer despite her cap drowning her face in shadow. Clothes, for the most part, just you see this dark, kind of long, leathered coat, light and fitted. And she's just kind of standing there, glazing over the room very slowly, taking sips from her wine.
Arthur, who has been standing and observing everyone, appears as a little more than average height, long black hair, late 30s, early 40s guy with piercing gray eyes, and he is just calmly and quietly, piercingly observing everyone and everything within the room. Fence movements do not go unnoticed by him, but he does not make acknowledgement towards them. He's watching Saru with a blank look on his face, and seemingly just kind of taking everything in and observing everything. He seems a little bit more rigid. His shoulders are a little bit more tight. He's not relaxed, but he's not altogether overly at attention. He will kind of walk somewhat stiffly over to the table, gazing at the wares upon it, and get small hunks of meat and begin to eat them before walking very slowly and calculatively towards Svent.
Classic, like, guy gets up next to it and then he just like slides to the side, like, nope, not having this. Sarah's gonna continue like kind of looking around the room and walking. He's gonna go over. There's a table of food. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's gonna look around the room, notice. I don't know who that is. Who's the archer lady?
Anna.
Okay, that's what I thought. He's gonna see how thin she looks. Is she still thin?
Yeah.
Okay. And he's gonna go grab, I don't know, some sort of protein off the table and walk over to her and be like, do you want any of this? Because you look like you might need some.
This is amazing.
And he's just gonna hold it out to her on a plate.
Anna will nod her head and take the plate and kind of have like a, still kind of just trying to like size her up, but we'll take it and we'll take a bite and say, thank you, I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
My name is Anna, and you are?
I'm Saru.
Saru. It's a pleasure to meet you. I imagine
you as well.
You're spending a lot of time together.
That's what it's looking like. We're all going adventuring together, and it's going to be great.
Well, I'm glad one of us is optimistic. And she'll just kind of keep eating.
Fent is going to grab some pastrami and, bundling his nerves, is going to step up to Arthur.
Is that boar's head?
No, come on. Don't be gross. This is fun charcuterie. He says through a mouthful of pastrami. And is that a fucking cat? Is that a cat? Is that a talking cat?
I heard that.
Oh shit. It's good to see you again, buddy. And he kind of turns and sticks his hand out to shake his hand.
Arthur will just kind of hold his gaze, slowly offering his hand as well to shake it firmly. Say, I dinna ken what that is, and I dinna know if I'm happy it's coming with us. Seemingly, though, it'll be the first thing to be shot. So, there's always that.
I suppose we could always roast it up for dinner.
Oh, aye.
Look good over a spit.
Well, I must admit that I'm slightly more encouraged that you're a part of this as well. I did not think they had taken this very seriously when they extended the offer to me, but at least now I'm confident that I know they did not take it seriously.
Sorry, that wasn't a very manly chuckle. It's a pleasure to see you again, Arthur. Sorry we left on such terms last time.
I think that Lummy would have found a way to be killed without the help of us or our organization, so water under the bridge.
Aye.
So what do you make of these bunch here? Seems like a few of them can handle themselves, but the others, like the cat, I'm a little more nervous for.
I don't know. Check out this old dude. And he kind of points in this direction. What do you think about him?
Death's doorstep.
Oh, he's really old. Sorry, I didn't mean to be a dick.
No, I think
At that moment, that person kind of walks up to the table and takes a chair next to Stephen and Anna. Oh, have you tried the what is this? And he kind of like leans forward and he picks up, it's some kind of olive, and he pops it into his mouth. What do you have there? I noticed you're writing a book. Are you I didn't know you'd be a writer as well as a protector, but
I found it helpful to keep my thoughts organized. And if you like look over her handwriting, it's like kind of actually rather immaculate. You would just be a little shocked because she does kind of look like thin and grangey and like dress weird, but her handwriting is kind of immaculate.
Oh, it is rather fine work you have there. I actually might have you look over a few of my my maps and legends, if you wouldn't mind.
Of course. However, I can be of assistance, but we elves, we don't need to sleep as much, and I find if I don't put that extra time to use, well then I simply fall behind everybody else. I don't want to make that mistake again.
Well, myself, I tend to sleep in often. Stephen, lad, would you hand me some of those morsels of meat on the other side of you there?
Steven's head kind of like turns, looking behind him, and then towards Borsal, and he'll hand him some meat, and seeing that it's clearly, he's not going to have been the first, he's going to load up a plate full of food.
Growing boys and such. He just kind of takes a seat at the table and starts eating.
Saru, I have to admit that Is Saru still next to Anna, sort of paying attention?
Oh, yeah, I
to
haven't
she wandered
moved.
off. Okay. You know, I had. She's like flipping through her book and like finds a page and then like was looking at it and go, you know, a wise man once told me that if you're happy and you know it, then slap the bard. So I don't think that. I hope that doesn't come to it.
Oh, do you see me? I just ran around with instruments. People laugh at me all the time. It's fine. It's not a
No.
big deal. But people
The,
laugh and smile. I mean, even Xerxes over there. I don't think he smiled once when I first met him, and I made him smile in the first 5 seconds, so we're fine.
Well, it seems that the wise man doesn't always know what it's saying. It seems like you will be a gift on this journey.
Well, I certainly hope so. Oh.
She doesn't have anything else to offer.
I've tabled you.
I see that.
You're welcome.
It's like, we're just over here in the corner.
I'll let this go as long as it needs to.
Is Isabel at that spot? Yeah. Which chair is she in? Is she next to me, or is there like a space between
Turned
me?
away, leaning against the table.
The table? Okay.
Like one hand holding the goblet, the other propping the arm up, just every now and then taking a sip and just staring off.
Okay, is there cheese on this table?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
I'm grabbing some cheese slices and maybe some crackers. And I'm going to walk up to
It's
Isabel.
American. It's in the cellophane.
That's not really fancy.
That's the best
But
kind of
okay,
cheese.
I'll grab it. I'll walk up to Isabel and I'll offer it to her and I'll be like, it's kind of wrapped up still, so it's probably not as fancy, but, you know, do you want some of this? Because you're drinking wine, so, you know, wine, cheese, crackers.
Her head slowly cranes towards you, and you just see this just like not a twinge in her face, just frown, just glazed eyes, just looking. Takes it from you. Thank you. Takes the single thing of cheese, puts the plate down, and goes back to drinking wine.
Seeing that she has bright blue eyes, I strike up a conversation about that. Like, oh my god, you have the same kind of eyes as mine. We're like the same color. You're obviously not, you know, me, but...
What a coincidence, isn't it?
Well, I suppose it is, but it could be something else. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll write a song about your eyes, because they're kind of like mine, and, you know...
It's called genetics.
It could be a gift, though. It doesn't have to be so simple. So plain and boring. It's also a cool hat. Can I wear it sometime?
You see her just like, she closes her eyes and just takes a breath. No.
All right, maybe some other time then. I'm going to go back over to kind of near Clavius. I'm not going to say anything, but, you know, by my friendly friends.
Fenn's gonna nudge Arthur and say, "That girl looks really cool." She's not even sitting at the table. Like, she seems pretty cool. I'm gonna go eat some more pastrami.
All right.
He bellies up next to Borsal.
As you do, the doors open, and in walk 2 guards, followed by 2 men. One of which that was in the room with you earlier, the other which was standing upon the pedestal next to Lord Briar. He speaks up. "Everyone, please, would you join me at the table here? We have some things to discuss." He takes a spot in the front.
My name is Lucian Therold. I speak on behalf of Lord Briar himself when I reiterate that Briarwood is behind you every step of the way on this great journey you are undertaking. And the importance of this mission cannot be understated. Now, if I may introduce you to Sir Garen here, he will be the official Briarwood emissary for once you reach Mountain Heart. Please, Sir Garen, and he kind of like nods over to him before grabbing some food and walking and standing near the door where he came in. Sir Garen then stands up and takes the head of the table. Thank you, Lucian. Good morning, everyone. As Mr. Therold said, I am Sir Garen. I'm sure you all enjoyed the fanfare that we received before, but that charade was for the people, and well, for the Lord. Don't let it go to your heads. There was a reason for the anonymity we were given. This journey will be quite dangerous, as I'm sure you all well know. Not nearly as glorious as Lord Briar made it out to sound. Our orders are to make contact with the Dwarven Kingdom of Mountain Heart, if they do still exist. Nothing more and nothing less. If you follow my lead, I suspect we will survive the journey. If you deviate from what I say, I suspect you will perish, and quite possibly cause the deaths of others. We do not know what to expect out there other than danger. This is not a game. This is not an adventure. Each of you need to get familiar with each other over the next few days. You will all be staying within the keep, unless to journey to the market to procure the necessary gear for our journey. In 3 days' time, we will make our way to the God's Wall, under the guise of a trade caravan for Fort Phoenix. The soldiers await us, and will see us over the wall. No one must know that you've been chosen to go on this journey. Do I make myself clear? Good. There's 100 gold pieces for each of you. And he kind of nods, and a couple of guards come in with like platters with little pouches of gold. It should be enough to get you what you need from the markets. And of course, upon our return, you shall be paid in full the 3,400 gold pieces that we agreed upon. I'll see you in 3 days. And he like quickly like kind of shoves off from the table and starts marching towards the door.
Sir Garen? Does he stop?
Yeah, before he reaches the door, he kind of like will pause and kind of turn his head.
If we have questions over the next 3 days, will you be available?
Yes, speak to the guards that are with you, and I'll get back to you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
And he walks through the door. The other man, this man, Lucian Therold, walks forward. I know that he can be a bit harsh, but he means well. If you need anything, please, as he said, speak with the guards and we'll get someone down to talk to you. Spend the next few days to get to know one another. It seems you'll be journeying together for a while. I can confidently say that there are some very fine people in this group that will do you quite well. And he kind of nods over his shoulder and kind of nods to a few folk. Clavius, Xerxes, and Saru in that general direction.
The rest of you, I'm sure that you are all quite good at what it is you do. You would not have been chosen if you weren't. Now, please enjoy the food, enjoy the pay. We'll see you. We'll see you in a few days. And he kind of bows and then starts to walk out of the room as well.
Hey, Lucian.
Aye, Arthur, is it?
Aye. Just a moment, if you please. In private of sorts.
Sure. And he'll walk you over. Like either he'll kind of motion to a door. You guys can go through a door, or you can stay in the room, whatever. Now, everyone, please get off the call. And no, just kidding. Yes, Arthur. What is it? What is it that you need?
All right. So, I didn't want to be too forward, but I've had my eye on something of particular interest down at the old smithies, and I just feel like it gets somewhat of an advance on the gold promised to me. I might live long enough to get the rest of the gold promised to me. So my thoughts were, if I can get a smidgen more of the gold ahead of time, I might be able to buy some armor that would get me an additional +1, perhaps, without a stealth disadvantage.
Oh, I see. You're already trying to buff your AC.
I did not know what kind of smithies they have on the north end of the wall, so I figured you might have well asked. It can be between you and me. You didn't have to tell the rest of the party. I swear I won't tell the others.
First roll of the night. Persuasion check. First roll of the campaign.
I did not think it'd be me.
Are they out of the room?
Yeah.
Right? You said in private? Okay.
This is at a -1. Oh,
Nail-
there she is. I'm back.
Glad to see you're still here, Nick.
Is that Roland over there?
Super well in our 0.5 session.
It was insane.
In the spell, it was nonstop, like above 15s.
It was great. He was nonstop.
It was unreal, is what it was.
Yeah, it was real. It was unreal.
I think if
As
we
it turns
refer
out.
to every session as a continuation of half sessions,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Just
This is the
a bunch of
second
slip party.
0.5
This
for
is-
you.
0.5 times 2 session.
Yeah. Yeah, Arthur, I'll speak with someone, see what we can do. I'm not in charge of the gold situation. But I'll talk to the treasury and see what I can work out.
Yeah. No, I just, thought, seeing the guards dressed in their armament, that you might be able to spare a extra.
Oh, I see. If you'd like to, join the Sons of Briarwood, then I could probably get you some of that. Yeah.
Oh, great. Sure. So, I'll be with the Sons of Briarwood, and the crew will go north of the wall, and I'll hang south here, eating the finest of the boar's head.
Oh no, we'd probably test you out on the eastern portion of the wall first. Make sure you're the right metal,
Oh yeah, pure berry, man. Pure berry. Great, fantastic. Great.
Wonderful. Well, you can finish enjoying this meal, and we'll get right on that armor for you.
Yeah, appreciate it. I'll be sure to get on not dying soon for you. Perfect.
And he'll open the door and kind of like after you.
Yeah, piece of broke bent sausage.
He'll walk by the table, kind of like nodding to the rest of you, and head out the room unless stopped. Cool. He gone.
Which leaves you all to yourselves in the room to eat, speak with each other if that's something you're into. I'm never gonna not allow that, so if you want to talk, you can.
Right, Fint, it seems like the rest of the Briarwood lot are a bunch of pure bollocks like we'd thought up north.
Hi. We'll see how long they last on the companion trail.
I cannot wait till we skedaddle off. Go north of the wall and get away from these buggers.
You dislike Briarwood? Is that what I'm up to hear?
Oh, aye. There's no love for Briarwood from me.
Well, I've lived here all my life.
I can
I find it pretty nice.
I can see that.
Interesting. He just kind of like looks the opposite direction of you.
So they gave us the gold coins already, right?
Yep.
Like 100, right? You said.
No, 100 gold pieces to each of you.
I'm gonna look around and just hold it up and be like, "Does anybody need this?"
Fent will absolutely lean forward and say, yes, I do need that.
Okay, I just hand it to Fent.
And
Because he
Fent
was
pockets
first
it.
come, first serve.
Yep.
And Michael, is that 100? I already have some gold on my character sheet from
Additional.
a month ago, so that's in addition to what's on there?
Add it on. Everybody gets an additional 100. Wow. Rolling deep. Hey, that could get you some cool shit.
101.
What? Did you find that on the ground? Ooh, a penny. Yeah, I don't know. Are we done here?
Yeah. You guys, after you finish eating, you'll be escorted to private rooms where you each actually get your own private room.
Fent takes some pastrami on his way out.
Pocket pastrami. Perfect. No, but you'll get escorted to private rooms, which many of you might not have ever had. Private rooms this nice. Looks like you're going to get a very comfortable night's sleep for the next few days. And as I said, 100 gold pieces each. If there's any additional shopping that you'd like to get done, you can basically get anything here other than magic items.
The one thing everyone wants.
The one thing everyone wants that you just can't purchase.
Magic doesn't exist.
It's a tough life.
Do you want us to, I mean, I'm basically just going to get arrows, probably. Do you want us to, like, do that now, or just, like, kind of...
Yeah,
or email, or just, like, have me go through the PHP and email you what I spent?
Either way, yeah, you can retroactively do it, or if you want to grab some now, that's totally fine. Arrows are super cheap. If you do get arrows, make sure you get enough quivers to hold them. That's the only thing I ask, because quivers hold 20 arrows each.
Okay.
Is everything on that general store available?
Yeah,
that you
everything on. Yeah, there is a thing in the. I don't know where I put it. Somewhere. Meta in the metadata. It's a little general store that you can pop open. That's everything in the PHP. Basically everything on that. If there's anything that's super weird, ask. But most everything is on there. I don't think you're going to be able to procure holy water or like potions of healing or anything like that. But pretty much everything else.
No potions of healing.
No potions of healing. That's the only for sure I have for you. They're letting you know that they are going to bring a wagon along. Which poor Seal is very happy about because he has a lot of books that he will be bringing. But there will be a wagon that will be brought and a horse to bring the wagon.
What's the
Did I
horse's
miss?
name?
Don't know.
That's
Did I
bullshit.
miss
You definitely
what
know.
Boar Seal was here for? Or is
No,
he just here?
He's here.
Okay.
Seems like he's
I wasn't sure if I wasn't paying attention or something. He's just
no.
okay.
He said he's going. That's as far as you know.
Okay.
You can ask. This is 8 o'clock. Great time to run to the bathroom, refill your wine, beer, or non-alcoholic, whatever. Connor, I know you can't drink.
Care for the baby.
I mean, I have significantly cut back on my drinking out of solidarity. However, Merce is not in the house, so
Time to empty the whiskey bottle.
yeah. No, I'm finishing the rest of that old-fashioned mix from our vacation.
Boom.
And Michael,
Oh, really?
I
Nice.
bought quivers and arrows. So,
Sweet.
and I spent the equivalent of 9 gold pieces because that shit's cheap.
exactly. That shit's fucking cheap. Okay, bathroom, whatever. Okay. BRB 510.
Anyway, so I was looking at Mountain Heart. That's a big hike, Michael. You got us going places.
It's a big hike, dog.
It's no Centrel. It's no Kestrel.
Yeah. I mean,
Let's
damn,
go to
just
the map.
3 feet.
Let's go to the map. Take it to the map.
I was gonna say, yeah, hold on, I have to find my little book.
I'm still in the general store. Who needs an abacus?
An abacus? Who's doing math? Who taught you math?
Phil buys an abacus with his 100 gold pieces. So here's the map, everyone.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm
You are
the map.
here. And you're going
Oh, bitch.
Jesus.
Yeah.
way up there.
Yeah.
How could you ever expect anybody to travel that far in a campaign? That is
So
so many miles.
how
How could it
common
ever
are
happen?
how common are vehicles in this game?
There
'Cause
are-
someone might be proficient in land vehicles.
There are Ford F-150s.
Oh,
Twist.
Everybody in the back.
No, so basically what y'all are doing here is you're going first.
To the windows.
And then you'll get further instruction at that point. What's cool about D&D is
Fast traveling.
you're traveling in a large group inside of the God's Wall. And not a lot's going to happen.
we're not gonna meet one of those gibbering mouther things.
No gibbering mouthers,
Okay.
turns out.
Did everybody get a
Zombies.
gibbering mouther in their 0.5 session?
A what?
I know the answer to that.
Because they're fucking terrifying and I don't like them, and it turned me off of D&D for like 2 days.
Just 2 days.
I mean, that seems pretty fair.
It's higher up in the chat. Everybody wants to look at it.
Quite spooky.
Ugh.
Yeah, it is probably way up there in the chat. Yep, there it is. Oh, God. So, on this travel, if there's any conversations that you guys need to have with the people that are along with you, Lucian is there, Sir Garen is there, Borseal is obviously there. He is riding in the wagon most of the way. There is not much room in the wagon. It's pretty full. You guys can put heavy gear in there if you want to. That's up to you. If you have anything heavy, obviously. We've talked about the fact that you're all probably encumbered, but it doesn't really mean encumbered, so don't worry about that.
And have we already fast forwarded through 3 days?
Yep, we will fast forward through the 3 days as well. So,
Was Lucian able to scrounge up
Unless,
any more gold?
what up?
Was Lucian able to scrounge up any more gold?
He did not scrounge up any gold for you.
No payday advance. Okay.
No payday advance loans.
He's a dead man. Good.
But yeah, if there's anything basically over the time when you finished eating and the time of your basic arrival to the wall that you guys would like to take care of with each other, with any of the other members of the party, now is the time to do so. We can obviously say that you guys, introduce yourselves to each other, start learning each other's names and such, but it's up to you how friendly you want to get with each other at this point.
Question about does Board Seal take me up on like going over the maps? Because I'd be curious about that.
Yes, so the maps that he currently has are all within the God's Wall, and then he has some maps from before all of this. This map here that we're looking at is a basic interpretation of what the world once was.
Okay.
With the inclusion of the God's Wall, which, as we all know, appeared 5 years ago during the burning. So what's outside the God's Wall is kind of up to interpretation. It's unknown, basically, at this point. We know where things were. We know the state of which things were when the primordial incursion came to an end, but we don't know what has changed in the last 5 years.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll definitely go over some things, and he'll have you actually write a few things on the map if you're willing.
Oh yeah.
Just with the extremely nice handwriting, and he'll ask you like, go over again where you learned to write like this and things of that nature. And but yeah, if there's anything you guys want to play out, I'm more than open.
Go ahead, Bartlett.
You're fine.
At one point, either that same day or maybe the next day, Steven would go to Anna's room or try and find Anna. And he would show her the crossbow that they found, that he picked up the other day, and ask her if she could help teach him how to use it. Or at least get better at using it, because he knows like the basic concept of it and has fired a crossbow before, but was hoping she could help him practice.
Sure. The longbow is my specialty, but I think
I know. I just figured since you'd fired a bow before and thought you might be more knowledgeable than I was.
Of course. And yeah, she'll help him.
Cool.
What's the old guy's name again?
Borseal Flinth.
Finn's gonna come up to him one night when he's kind of by himself, if there's an opportunity.
Yeah.
While he's maybe like reviewing his maps or has them out for some reason. Borseal, can you teach me maps?
Teach you maps. What exactly are you?
Like, what do I see when I look at a map? What is this arc here?
Oh, okay. So we are here, and he'll point to Briarwood. We are here.
How do you know that you're there?
I see. So this map, I drew it, right? And I drew it based on the geography of what I see. So it is a representation of the world around us.
Yes, but when you look at it, what does it mean? Like, what is this blob here? And he kind of like points to like, I don't know, the Fort Phoenix, I guess would be another like big city that you would maybe see on a map.
So that's Fort Phoenix. It's to the north. Have
So-
you heard of Fort Phoenix?
Well, yeah. So blobs are places.
Well,
How
yes,
do you know what blobs are what places?
Friend, would you and he takes off his glasses and hands them to you. Would you mind putting these on?
Fett puts them on and immediately fucking understands maps. But still can't read. Is like functionally illiterate. Oh, now they have pointy roofs and little
Yes,
gates.
the little blobs have a little pointy roof there. You can
What
see.
are these magical things?
Well, those are my spectacles.
You got more of these spectacles?
No.
They were 200 gold that way.
We might be able to acquire some for you. For your up close reading. Do you do a lot of reading, Vent? A lot of books?
No books are no. Yes, no, I don't.
I see. I can lend you some, and the glasses when you want to do some reading, if that's something that you'd be interested in.
No. But maps seem like something I would like to do.
Well, there's actually many good books that could help with your learning about maps, actually. Do you understand?
Ben just kind of like stares at him for a while and then kind of like grumbles to himself and then like walks off without like finishing that conversation at all.
Do you know how badly I wanted to stream the map song by
Yeah.
the Yeah Yeahs? They don't love you like I love you. Maps.
Yeah, you walk away, and Bortziel just kind of quizzically looks after you. That was and goes back to what he was doing.
So is Lucian with us or just Sir Garen?
Yeah, Lucian is with you guys.
I think Clavius would talk to Lucian. Lucian, I have seen Xerxes drop an enemy at 60 feet with a fire stick, and Saru, despite his appearance, can be quite cunning and useful in battle. What do the rest of these people bring to the table specifically? Do we have anyone that is inclined in the ways of magic, to your knowledge?
So what we have about us, you see the man over there, Borsil, he is a cartographer, and he'll be taking notes throughout the journey, and he'll be putting together something so that we know what the world looks like outside. It's quite important. So her there, you see next to him, and he kind of points to the redheaded elf, Anna. He's actually brought her on. I suspect she's a bit of a fighter. She carries a bow. Bit of ranged action is my thoughts. The larger one, brute force, pointing to Fent. I haven't had the chance to.
It's like subtly flexes if he ever hears that off.
That one kind of walking up ahead, the black hair Arthur. He's from the lands to the north. He's familiar, at least he was. He's actually a bred sentinel, ranger type. So
quite helpful in navigating and such. Then, of course, yes, yourself, Xerxes, Saru. Over there, you see Isabel. She is well trained in the art of healing. Very good at what she does. As far as I know, she's on the payroll of Borsil. The young lad there, he's like a squire in training, or was it I don't know, a courier for Borsil? He kind of just is here to carry the books, as far as I know. We're gonna have to keep him in the wagon, I think. He seems like a nice enough lad. But... And then I think that covers everyone.
And if there was one person to protect at all cost, I'm guessing it would be Porcel.
Yes, it's important that he survives as far as Briarwood is concerned. Obviously, I don't want to see any of you lost. Like the first charter, we're unsure of their location. Presumed dead, obviously. We'd like to see you all make it back. That's why Sagarin is with you. He's quite good at what he does. One of the best of the sons of Briarwood. But, you're not here necessarily to protect Borsil. You're here to make it to Mountain Heart and make it back. We hope Borsil makes it and his maps along with him, but just make sure that someone does.
And I would like to talk to Shin and Sir Garand, basically the same thing, over the journey too. She would ask both of them, can you tell me, is this the path that the first charter took? Or do you know?
We're trying to follow the same path so that hopefully that we can find what happened to them, why they never returned. So first thing, we'll be going to Paragus Lake. There's a tower that was used as an outpost during the primordial incursion. It's about 5 days out from the wall, I suspect, and we hope to make it there. That's our first stop, and we'll head north to Bray.
Did they have the same goal in mind? A wise man told me that do not follow the footsteps of the wise, but seek what they sought.
Yes, they did. They did go that way. We will be following.
Just say it. Damn you and your quotes. Your slightly words of wisdom.
Who was this wise man you speak of?
It's the man I'm looking for. He went out with the first charter.
Oh, did he?
Fillmore. He gave me scant information, but, well, I am his namesake. I would like to find him.
That is good to know. Obviously, we'd like to find him too, but I can't have that getting in the way. You understand, I hope?
I understand. I just was curious if we were treading the same path. I thank you for disclosing that information.
Of course.
What else you got? Try to be aggressive as a DM, antagonistic.
I'm waiting for the bus ride.
Yeah, there is
or
a bus.
Carriage ride or trolley ride, whatever it is.
It's a F-150, as I said. So you guys we'll move forward. You're on the walk. Walk/ride. It's a horse-drawn carriage, single horse.
how are we situated? This is important. I need to know this.
You tell me. I'm not situated.
No, I'm not asking you. I'm asking everybody.
Fent is definitely not riding in the carriage.
Are you sure? Are you sure
Super
he's not in the
doesn't trust.
carriage? I
Nope.
think he needs to be in the carriage.
No, he'll like walk beside it so he could like hear singing from the outside.
So you're
But
saying-
horses super freak him out. He's not trusting the horse to.
Ooh, I like
do
this.
I would
anything.
imagine that
I like this.
Anna's
character.
pretty much, or Anna's pretty attached to, is like kind of next to Borsteel, and I would assume Steven's with us as well.
Steven's in the carriage.
Yeah, I imagine the three of us are in the carriage for sure. Isabel does whatever she wants.
Steven's
Arthur, where are
carving.
you? Oh, you're carving? Okay.
Yeah. You can see
Okay.
that.
Like wood or like into
Yeah,
his
carving
skin?
wood. Yeah,
Okay.
wood, not into the skin.
A large block of marble. This very large block of marble.
Chiseling.
Yep. As it hits every bump, he goes, "Damn," But
Yeah. He's carving a very intricate like head, and then all of a sudden, there goes the head.
yep.
So Steven's
Start
carving
over.
wood, and then Anna's helping Borsteel like clean up the language on his maps, talking to him about it. So that's the cart situation.
Nick, are you in the carriage or?
Absolutely not. Far out ahead of it, just kind of scouting, stuff like that. He knows the way to Fort Phoenix all too well, and would just really rather not associate with this group. He was not well explained to him that this was the group that he'd be going north of the wall with, and he feels a little bit
All right.
too.
So Saru is going to get in the carriage and then see that both Arthur and Fent are out of the carriage, and then jump out before it starts going.
Nice.
He is going to walk next to Fent, and after a few paces, as they start rolling, Sarah's going to look over to Fent and kind of be like, "You and Arthur are kind of close, aren't you?"
Oh, yeah, we go back. Yeah. He did a lot of my training in the early days.
So you guys have been on adventures together, kind of like this one.
Hopefully this one goes a little better.
Well, how'd the other ones end?
Oh,
I mean, you didn't die, so you're here.
We didn't die. There was a fair amount of blood and death and this monster with a whole bunch of teeth. Have you ever seen a monster with a whole bunch of teeth? And then it had these tentacle things, and it was like.
I mean, well,
and it
see, I
killed.
was gonna say like a chipmunk or something, but they don't have tentacles, so
No,
maybe
it
not.
was
I mean, coming
quite
from the
large.
jungle where I am, you get some scary things, but
Oh,
I
so
mean-
you've seen scary things before?
well, I mean, like big, angry like boars, and jungle creatures. I mean, occasionally you catch a squid when you're fishing off a boat in the sea. Those have tentacles.
Yeah, it was kind of like a big squid.
There's nothing that have teeth and tentacles. It doesn't really. That's not a thing.
Oh,
usually.
it's a thing. Hopefully you never experienced that. Why?
I don't know it.
Why are you here?
What do you mean? Why am I here?
I mean this with like the most respect of all time, but you're like a giant cat. Have you killed things before? Are you like a good hunter? Are there like giant mice that they expect on this trip? I'm sorry, we don't know each other very well as
No,
people. I'm
that's
not being a
awesome.
dick to you. I'm just trying to roleplay my character.
I mean,
You picked the perfect person to role play with, Amanda. This is great.
I mean, it's okay. I mean, you know what? Xerxes and Clavius didn't really like me to begin with either, and then later on they realized that I'm actually kind of useful and go lucky. They just have to kind of deal with my, someone's got to be optimistic around here. Everybody here is all dull and melancholy and dreary, and it's like no one wants to be here.
You see Fent totally like withdraw into himself for like 30 solid seconds of silence while he's like pondering that. Then he kind of like turns to him and okay. I can feel this out. And he like plasters on like a really false like fake smile.
See, even you can smile. Everyone can smile. Just take some effort.
How long do I do this for?
How long do you smile? Well, until it's uncomfortable. I mean, you can stop, but
Oh, it hurts really bad. I don't like it.
you might get used to it. You never know. I'll write a song for you one day. Don't worry. We'll find you a song, and it'll make you smile like it did Xerxes, and everything will be okay.
Okay.
With that, I'm going to quicken my pace and get up to where Arthur is. And basically have the same conversation with Arthur. Being like, hey Arthur, so I was over there talking with Fent, and he said that you guys had a few adventures together. And there was, tentacles and, octopus with teeth and whatnot.
We saw some things trying to secure one of our member. We were part of the Red Sentinels, and we saw some things. Fent was as a lieutenant of mine, and we lost some people together.
Oh, that's too bad. Sometimes that's kind of not a great thing, but I mean, losses sometimes build you up, don't they? I mean, you're both still here, and clearly you were chosen on this voyage.
Oh, I
for a
think
reason.
As long as I can continue to claim that and say, I could lose you or lose them or lose him or her. As long as I'm still around, sure.
Well, I mean, you're not the only thing that matters. I mean, we are all kind of in this together. Granted, some people don't necessarily maybe want to be here, and everybody's, of course, got their own motives, but, I mean, the goal is to all make it out of here alive, right?
Aye, but you see, Cat, money a mickle max a muckle north of the wall. And I'm sure you'll see that soon enough.
What words did you just say?
Money a mickle max a muckle.
I don't know, gibberish. Nick, did you describe your character? And did I miss it? And by that I mean, like, did you say what race you were or anything, or is it just by appearance? And if not, can I do a perception check?
Yeah, no, human male. He is portrayed as this is a recent change. Daniel Day-Lewis. During his time as Last of the Mohicans.
Wow, we got Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah,
that's where all the budget money went to. Dang.
Yeah.
Well, Last of the Mohicans, though, right? So.
Last of the Mohicans. Yeah.
Good choice.
It was well before Lincoln.
So I'm gonna look to him and be like, well, if I knew you were all about money, I would have offered you that 100 gold they gave us. I wouldn't have let Fen just take it all.
No.
And I'm going to offer him. Where's my gold? I'm going to offer him my 65 gold pieces. Be like, just take this. Clearly, if you're into it that much, you might as well take it and use it. I have no need for it.
No, what?
Extra weight.
What I mean is, it's a phrase from the north. Is money a mickle maximuckle means to say that the little bits add up over time.
I mean, money does eventually make a belt buckle, but
right.
You have to buy that with the money that I'm giving you.
Right. So, Kat, what is it that you do?
What do you mean, what do I do? I'm an explorer. I'm an adventurer. I've heard plenty of stories about far-off lands, and I finally got to this land and find out that I can't go anywhere because there's a damn wall in my way.
Right. How many times have you almost died?
Well, none, because I'm careful. But,
How many times have you seen your friends die?
Well, I travel alone, so not very often.
How many times have you killed?
I mean, out of necessity or out of defense. You know, you got a food, rabbits, squirrels.
Wee
The
little
occasional
bunnies.
possum.
Aye, sure. Excellent. Excellent. Okay, good.
Get a little Shrekky there for a second.
I've been trying to place it. I've just Shrek was where I was going as well.
That's a nice boulder.
Just a big cat. Excellent. Alright, well, I'm sure there's some milk in the F-150 over there. So I'm going to continue leading the party to the north, and you can skedaddle off.
So, hearing the milk comment, I'm just gonna like stop or at least slow my pace and let him just kind of blister on. And I'm just gonna yell after him and be like, "Milk's just a stereotype. It upsets my stomach."
I saw you eating cheese, you liar.
And then I'm just gonna go like, he'll come around, and I will. I'll walk back to the carriage, and I'll look at Fett and be like, "He's kind of a difficult one, isn't he?"
Bye.
I will. I'll climb back up in the carriage, and I would like to say I'd play a song, but I don't have any song ready for this, so pretend I'm playing a song.
We imagine.
I'll just pull up my little pan flute.
Is it like a cheerful song that you're playing?
It'd be like somewhere in between. It's not a sad song, but it's not like a super upbeat song. It's just kind of like a comforting song. Like, just settle everybody down. We're on our way to an adventure. Nobody needs to be testy.
Love it.
Or, stereotypical Arthur.
Arthur's only slightly incensed.
You know what? Nope. Michael,
Oh, you have one?
it's not specifically when I meant to play this, but play that one. It's close enough.
I think that hit the mood you were looking for.
There we go.
It is. It's like a good little, just like traveling song.
It's a good little
I like that.
Lion King reference.
So, Michael, I'm gonna craft some ammunition while I've got this time on my
Ooh,
hands.
yeah.
We never discussed. I don't know what the ratio of tinker tools to bullets is.
Sure. Me either.
Holy shit, I forgot you were playing a gunslinger. That's so cool.
Oh boy, oh boy. Well, we'll worry about the gold costs later. Why don't you roll me 3 tinker checks?
How do I do that?
Be on for you. It should be on the left side. Tool proficiencies and custom
tinker
skills.
tools?
There should be tinker tools. Yeah. All right. Okay. Over the course of the time that it takes you to get to the wall, you can make another 20 bullets.
Awesome. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. We'll worry about costs later because I don't.
I don't know. I don't know what I just know I have to make them. I don't know what I'm.
Yeah,
don't know
we'll
what else.
we'll,
That's
we'll
okay.
look at it. It's not a big deal.
Right. Okay, so I'm gonna pose a question to those in the wagon while I'm making my bullets. I know this may be a silly question, but have any of you been to Mountain Heart before? I know we've got a couple of elves in the party that may be old enough to have been.
Steven will just shake his head.
Nope, but I'm certainly excited to go there.
Are you in the wagon now?
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
been in the
I-
wagon. He's playing the song.
Oh,
yeah, I
no.
climbed in the wagon
Sorry.
and played the song. Yeah.
My bad. It would have been way funnier if you hadn't played the song and just popped up in the wagon the moment Xerxes said that.
Hello.
Anna will say, I have met people from Mountain Heart. My travels took me farther south and southeast when I was in the world before it was, but I have met some dwarves from Mountain Heart before. But I've never been. You?
Yes, it's been many, many years, but I visited there with my master when I was just an apprentice. I've been but once. It was memorable.
What made it memorable?
Well, as you can probably see, holds up, his tools and whatnot.
Mhm.
I'm a bit of a gearhead, if you will. And of course, the dwarves are known for such things, so I learned quite a bit about crafting and inventing while I was there.
Yes, the dwarves that I interacted with, they brought many a fine weapon. Nothing quite like what I see you tinkering on, but.
Oh, I don't have my gun out.
No, well, I mean, I assume I see you messing with bullets, and that alone is like, I don't know what that is.
Sarah's gonna hear you say that and immediately just jump in and be like, "Oh, you guys should see this! He has the coolest thing ever! It's like it's a bow and arrow, but it's not. It makes a really loud noise and definitely is not stealthy, but it definitely totally hurts people." And then he's gonna look at Xerxes and be like, "Come on, just show him. I mean, they're gonna see it anyway. Probably, hopefully not, but maybe."
Xerxes takes a pause for a second, and he kind of whips back his coat and pulls out the gun from its holster, which was closed. And he says,
Sorry, Nate, you should probably read my comment before just because you're doing great role playing and I don't want to distract people.
Really? John Bernthal's at 1.6. Nice.
Yeah, apparently makes $350K for during the Punisher for each episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
who knew?
Who
Man,
knew?
That's some Hollywood sexism right there, Karen Gillan.
Oh, yeah,
There
not
fucking
good.
is.
That's actually giving her a raise from Guardians. So,
Oh boy.
You know,
It's a great
it's-
fucking pull on the 1996 Matt Damon, though.
yeah, there's no way Matt Damon made anything but union scale. He was just happy to be there.
Anyway, so Nate.
Sorry, Nick, go ahead.
So
No, that's
Xerxes,
okay. You can put me down for like a Benedict Cumberbatch with horns.
Oh, yeah, he would love that. He would be all over that.
Okay.
He would be
I
all
know.
over that.
The makeup
That's-
budget is going to be expensive, though.
no, that's all CG. That's all CG. They'll be fine.
Yeah, that's true. CG. It's fine.
All right, so Nate, sorry, you're showing us your
Yeah, that's
stuff.
okay. So I pulled out my gun. And I say, what Saru says is true. I do have a bit of a unique weapon, but there's no need to fear. It's just like a bow and arrow. No need to fear. And having kind of shown it, I just put it back in its holster.
Steven will say, how's it like a bow and arrow? And he asked this very honestly, like he's genuinely confused.
So, picking up one of the bullets, Xerxes says, it propels these at great speeds, that equal, or perhaps even greater, to a crossbow bolt.
So it's like a mini crossbow.
Yes.
It's gonna be a real eye-opening moment when that thing gets fired.
Oh yeah.
Bang!
Well then.
Cool. I found this crossbow the other day.
So good.
Not as cool as yours, obviously. Yours is way smaller, but
Bam! Kind of.
Burned.
I mean, laughing internally at the naivete.
right, yeah.
Xerxes says, "It is quite a nice crossbow you've got there, Steve."
Thanks. He'll brighten up a little bit.
Was your mentor in Mountain Heart last you heard?
No, the last I heard, he had traveled. It's west, right, Michael?
Yeah.
Ramp, is that what it's called?
Mhm.
Yeah. The last I heard, he had traveled west to Moran.
I hope we are able to find the Dwarven city still intact, but we will see.
Crossfade.
Good
Few
role playing,
days.
everybody.
Yeah, I'm loving this right now. A few days have passed. For those of you that have never gazed upon the God's Wall before, which is quite possible for some of you, because it only appeared those 5 years ago when the world burnt. It is a massive white stone wall, intricately carved with great design details, many of which look like ancient runes, others look like they could be language, but none of it is languages that anyone's ever seen before, if it even is language. And much of it just kind of appears as these like beautiful patterns and designs carved into the wall. The wall stands about 100 feet high and must be at least 40 feet thick at the base. As you approach, kind of near there. As you approach this portion of the wall, you note this kind of like outer wooden structure, kind of built up around it like a fort. This is a encampment of the Red Sentinels of Fort Phoenix, known as Fort Skyfall. This is one of two portions of the wall that has a gated pass-through. I can jump to this, much like this image here in the background of this page. I can find another one. This one's kind of like, this one's from Curse of Strahd, but it kind of gets the same idea. I can find you a bigger, better picture eventually, because I don't think I have it loaded up in here. But yeah, so this is one of two portions of the wall. You can see the other kind of over here to the east, represented by the tower-looking thing. Those are the only two pass-throughs on the wall that have these massive iron gates. The iron gates of which have not been opened in 5 years.
Do you have an image of what the little like diagrams or designs on the wall look like by chance? Or can I just make a mental note?
There are a
in
ton
like
of them.
preparing. Okay, so it's not like one.
It's not
fluid.
like one. No,
Okay.
I mean it seems like an unending amount of them. Like it's just
Okay.
like you don't see one that looks the same as the other. Like you notice little details that are different in all of them. Like it's kind of unbelievable that that would be possible. But yeah, as you approach this fort, you see the massive structure that is the gated structure, and as you're walking up to there, you'll actually be escorted up through the wooden structure that's been built alongside it, and be told that you'll actually be going up and over the wall, lower down the other side, as will your horse, as will your wagon, because the gate does not open.
Can I take like an etching of just some of the
like do like a rubbing,
like you would with paper and a crayon?
Yeah,
back
absolutely.
in like elementary school, and just some random assortments of it just for future reference.
Yeah, you can totally do that. Put down on your character sheet like a etching of the wall or a rubbing of the wall or whatever.
So when you say the gate will not open, you mean it will not open at all, or will not open for us?
They tell you that it's in asking, it's never been opened. They don't know how to open it.
Did the previous charter get lowered in this manner as well?
Sorry, you bubbled a little bit. What'd you say?
Did the previous charter get lowered in this manner as well?
Yes. They went up and over the wall and were repelled down the other side.
Thank you.
So I'm real uncomfortable at the moment. I just want to move on with our journey as quick as we can. Can I do a check to see if I can tell how the gate functions?
Yeah. You can do a intelligence check or a investigation or a tinker's check, whatever you want, really.
I come through.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, taking a look at it from like what you can see, you must assume that some of the hinge work or something must be hidden on the inside, like because you don't see it. It almost like to you from here, it almost looks decorative. Like the doors are just decorative. Like you're like, well, yeah, the reason they don't open is because that's not a door. It just looks like a door.
Thank you. Does the person in charge of this fort come out to greet us at all?
Yes. The person in charge of this fort is actually not the person that comes and greets you. The person that will greet you is in charge of all of Fort Phoenix and is a dwarven woman.
Motherfucker.
That looks like this. If that popped up, I don't know.
It did.
It did.
Great. Roll 20 works. Captain Grimjaw. A dwarven woman walks up and she's talking with Sir Garen and Lucian. And you see her kind of like pointing to people, telling them to like bring you guys through, and some members of the Red Sentinels walk out and kind of are helping you all go through into the fort and escorting you towards the stairs, the way up, and such. And they seem to be strapping the horse to the horse and the wagon to two separate winch mechanisms that they're using to pull lift them up. And she's kind of she was directing traffic, and now she's just kind of talking to Lucian and Sir Garen. Anybody else? You going? Heading up the wall?
As he does so, Clavius will study the dwarf as intently as possible without being really... He'll try to do it casually. He's pretty good at cutting his eyes through the goggles, but he's going to be just checking mannerisms as best he can.
Okay.
None of us are dwarfs, right? Out of game.
Nope.
Correct? Okay. There it goes. So yeah, Sarah's gonna finish doing his etchings or whatever, and then so it's basically like a ramp over the wall?
There's a whole fort system that you're kind of going up. It's a bunch. There's a lot of steps, and
so it's not a door we have to go through. It's just we have to climb up and over the wall, basically.
Yeah. You're going up the fort. The door is does not open. So
okay.
You're going up this fort that's been built by people. That's kind of built a structure around the wall.
Yeah, so Sarah will finish his etchings, and then he'll take a few steps up, getting close to kind of where the peak of the stairs are at the top of the wall, and just kind of look back and be like, all right, guys, we're here. We might as well just keep going.
Borseal is getting exhausted going up the steps. And by the time he gets to the top, he just sounds like he's going to pass out.
Bent is following Berseal very closely with his hands he's trying to be subtle, but he's very much so expecting him to pass out and fall off. So he's just kind of subtly trying to catch him if that happens.
Arthur is waiting somewhat, perhaps uncomfortably, outside the just kind of on the perimeter of where Grimjaw is talking to Lucian and the other fellow, and just kind of observing, but more so staring at the three of them.
Michael,
yeah,
what would rejuvenate our old dwarves friends? Stamina? Would Constitution do it?
Constitution would do that, sure.
So if I cast Enhance Ability, which technically doesn't... it gives them advantage on Constitution checks, but also gives them 10 hit points?
Yeah.
So if I cast that on
him...
think
that would probably help him in this situation.
And give him...
Possibly help him fend off exhaustion.
Yeah, it's called Bear's Endurance, so... That's really... So yeah, so I see how winded he is, and I'm gonna play a little song on my one of my... Which one am I gonna choose? I'm gonna pull out my turtle-shaped ocarina.
I love it.
And play some random song that I unfortunately don't have for you. And I'm going to cast Enhance Ability and give him Bear's Endurance, which it gives him 2d6 temp hit points and advantage on...
I love it. Click that bad boy. Click that spell.
Wait, it's advantage on yeah, let me see.
Do you give him an amphetamine or something?
that work or no? I guess my character sheet is in a different window. So
It'll still go through.
did it? It didn't work. I don't think.
Do you have?
It
Like,
did.
do you have?
I wasn't. There we go.
There it is.
I didn't see the cast level thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I do Bear's Endurance, which advantage on Constitution checks gains 2d6 hit points. Yeah, I guess right. Constitution is what we said. So yeah, Bear's Endurance.
Would you
There we
try clicking it one more time?
go. I can.
Just want to see
Somewhere.
why something broke.
Cast at what level? Second level. There we go.
There we go.
Did that work?
Nice.
It did. Just for some reason didn't the first time. Cool. Yeah, he like almost like you hear him like heaving and then he kind of just well, I feel quite good, and he kind of starts stretching his legs out a little bit.
So
Why, thank you. That little song you did there, quite helpful.
well,
I'm
you're very
feeling,
welcome.
I'm feeling like a young lad.
It's me, him, and Fent up here, right? Basically.
Yeah, I think everyone else is kind of coming up the wall.
So Amanda, if you will look on the zoo or the Zoom, whatever this is, if this actually works. This is what I pull out of my pocket.
Oh shit!
Okay, I was just Googling ocarinas, and I found some really weird shit on YouTube. That
There's a ton.
weirder than that,
There's
and
my
I
little
like it.
my little turtle
That
shaped
is
thingy.
awesome. I love
Amazing.
it. Fent is just totally befuddled, has never seen anything like this before, does not know what to make of it, thinks that maybe somehow you got him high. like maybe you drugged him, not sure, still very much so like protective shelling him a little bit subtly, but ready to catch him if he falls.
And that's it.
Amazing.
I look onward to see. Basically, I turn and look at kind of towards, I guess, Paragus Lake and look back and see if the other guys are actually, coming up, following suit.
So when Anna makes it top of the wall, I just imagine that like Isabel, unless you have a better place to be, you're like close behind me.
Yeah, close.
So the both of them make it to the top of the wall, and Anna like ruffles through her pouch, and she pulls out like this liquid, like this big, like bright, like highlighter green liquid, and it's just like bottoms up, Isabel, bottoms up, Isabel. I know you understand, and then just throws it back.
Isabel takes
Anybody
a
witnesses it.
bottle of wine, just uncorks it and drinks straight from the bottle.
And like I just imagine Isabel looks so comfortable, and Anna just is like just looks like, and she's like, I don't know how you do that. I've been doing this for years, and I still can't get used to it. Sort of puts her vial away.
Love it.
Yeah, Amanda, you found the Ocarina of Time.
Oh, nice.
It's not quite what I have.
So ludicrous. Just imagining the people filming this, like, and she's like really not ashamed of how like dorky this is. It's
Dude,
just
there
so
are
perfect.
some legit like there's one, I'll send it to you, but there's one where it's like the guy literally dresses up as Link, and it's like it is actually really, really good and really well done.
I'm intrigued. Send it my way.
She'll go into a YouTube
There you go.
hole of darkness.
It's ridiculous. But it's like him and an ocarina, and it's crazy.
All right, what else we got? Who else
For
we
your
got?
viewing pleasure later on.
Yes.
We all make it.
I think we're good.
Great. At the top of the wall, the view is astonishing. To the east, you can see the Shadowset mountain range reaching above the treetops and touching the sky, disappearing into a haze the further north they go. But before you is this kind of vast wilderness. It's mainly forests and plains as far as the eye can see. At the top of the wall, they have some interesting mechanisms kind of set up to lower you down, kind of like hand cranking you down. The first thing they do is lower Sergarin, and then they lower the wagon and the horse, and lower some ropes to kind of they winch you, like lock you guys in, and you guys kind of rappel down the wall. Being only the second group to set foot on the other side. If everybody will roll, first group check, perception checks. Get everybody's dice warmed up. Some people might have Whisper on BT dubs. Wow. Look at all those checks.
Nailed it.
They basically pull up the entirety of the thing.
So many checks you have to scroll to see them all.
Xerxes, Clavius, Saru, Anna, and Arthur. Can you give me a rundown of the languages you speak?
Oh, wow.
Oh, God.
Are we on the ground yet, or are we still being lowered?
Being lowered.
Okay.
I think I just know Common. So, not helpful.
I know Common, Dwarvish, and Halfling.
Celestial, Infernal, Common, and Dwarvish.
Common, Elvish, Dwarven, Halfling.
Common, Dwarvish, Orcish.
Love it. You guys are about halfway, maybe a little further down the wall, when kind of from nowhere there's this like gust of wind. It kind of just blows you all a little off. It's nothing that you're afraid of falling. Just kind of like comes through. It blows all your hair. It blows some of your shirts and things out of the way. It blows you just a little bit off course. And those of you that made those checks, you each for a second feel like you hear something on the wind. Something that sounds of language, something that sounds of words strung together, but something you don't understand. Just a few words, maybe a sentence. A lot of it is kind of like hidden behind this like sound of wind. But like you feel like you heard something. Kind of catches you as you're all being lowered.
Frodo.
Who's to say? It could have been. It could have literally just been that.
You are good.
We definitely don't have that budget.
Yeah, we're all gonna fly to New Zealand real quick.
You
Where the hell that was filmed.
You reach the bottom of the wall, and you are standing on the northern side of the God's Wall. In the wilderness that is L'Oreal post burning. Almost no one has been where you're standing in the last 5 years. There's a lot of trees around. It's not overly thick forest, but there is a deal, of trees. The grass is tall. Wilderness kind of taking the land. It takes a few hours to get just like settled, get the horse and get the carriage put back together in a way that, got to put all the wheels back on and all that kind of shit as it was lowered. And Sir Garen kind of gives you the rundown that you'll be heading east to the river and following the river north from there. There's a crossing. At least there should be a crossing. There was a crossing miles up the river, a good few days to get to the other side. And then you'll head towards the tower at Paragus Lake. That's the plan.
Once the we're unhooked from our harnesses or whatever, the appropriate wording is, untied from the rope, Steven might probably walk off a little bit from the group and is just kind of staring up at the wall.
It is immense.
Yeah.
Just overbearing when you're this close to it from this side.
He's definitely fighting back tears.
Siru is going to do a similar thing. He's going to turn around and look at the wall, but it's less... And I don't know that Steven's actually sad, but it's less sadness or tearful and more triumphant, because he wanted so bad to be on that first expedition, and because he's been trapped behind the gods, or really he's been trapped in Briarwood for 7 years or whatever it was. So he's like, I'm finally here, I finally made it, and he's gonna look around, and I guess he's gonna see that Steven is looking at the wall somewhat solemnly, maybe? Whatever word you want to put to it, and he's gonna walk over to him. He's gonna walk over to him, basically put an arm over his shoulder and be like, "We finally made it. We're here, and there's no reason to stop now."
Wasn't expecting that. Yeah, you'd probably if your arms around him, you feel Steven trembling. You might not know if it's with excitement or for other reasons, but he's just shaking very subtly. And he's just looking up. He's not looking at you.
I don't know if I have a response for that.
Okay, cool.
Anna wants to walk up to Arthur, and when there's a minute, and I assume they have exchanged names, but not much else. But Anna will sort of come to Arthur and be, so it appears you will be the ranger and the scout of the group, from what I can see. My mentor, he trained me to track, and while I must admit I am his inferior, if we come across anything, or if you come across anything supernatural, that is my area of expertise. Now that we are beyond the wall, I do not know what we will find, but if it looks otherworldly, I can help.
certainly appreciate that. I'm not so good myself with the otherworldly things. I'm good at killing worldly things. So, I'll hope to be of use, leading us to the north. I'm pretty familiar with that part of the world. So, if we come to the otherworldly bits, I'll leave them to you and defer to your judgment.
And I to you on all the worldly bits.
Your worldly bits, am I right?
Gave him a baby.
Just busted with that comment. What did Amanda?
We'll call it Finn.
Look, I don't know about you, but we could probably travel off into the bush, covering our tracks. Nobody able to track us. And play chess.
There it is.
There we go.
We got it.
We're going to retcon real quick because we're going to go back to me putting my arm over Steven.
Play it again, Michael.
And oh, no, you have no idea what's about to happen. So I'm going to put my arm over Steven and say, that whole thing, we're here, let's keep going. And when I feel Steven trembling, I'm going to take my arm off. I'm going to pull out my little ocarina. And Michael,
Yeah.
why don't you play a little role?
Ooh.
Real quick.
Roll for initiative.
There we go.
My gosh.
Oh, yeah.
It's my favorite one.
And with that song, I cast heroism on Steven.
Oh.
Amazing.
Which imbues him with bravery.
Oh.
And apparently he gains temporary hit points equal to my spellcasting modifier at the start of each turn, which really doesn't matter at this point, but bravery is the biggest thing.
Whoosh, an arrow flies in.
Right.
Make sure to click that spell.
I am somewhere working on it.
Ah, cool. Just
There we go.
I don't know why it's not.
Arthur would like to go over to Fent and kind of pull Fent aside a little bit.
Was this about that remark earlier, sir? I really didn't mean anything by it. It came to my lips and it was out, and then I.
No, Fent. No, you did not answer to me anymore. Although I would like to make a similar request to you as I have done in the past.
You want my bits?
What?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
If you would keep an eye on the lad, little Stephen off yonder doesn't seem to quite have his wits about him. Just keep an eye on the boy, and mayhaps he'll live. Mayhaps we'll all get through this. I didn't want to be overimposing, but keep an eye, eh?
Fent casts a very what's the adjective I want? Doubtful look at the kid, and then just kind of turns to Arthur and just, aye, sir.
No more, sir. It's been a while since the Sentinels, so I think you and I are on the same ground now, yeah?
Aye, sir.
All right. Well, I'll walk on.
Arthur? Artie? What do you go by there, buddy? It's kind of warming up to this a little bit. Archie?
Marty is totally becoming a nickname if Sarah ever hears that. Just FYI.
No, Arthur's probably fine for now. Should probably fit the bill for now. Aye.
Arthur.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing.
Artie.
Oh, right, enough of that.
You travel.
Onward!
Yes.
For 2 days, you're able to travel like basically next to the wall. The gentleman up top, the Red Sentinels of Fort Phoenix, actually members, a large group is kind of following you. Torches, you can kind of see them up there, basically keeping watch for you as you travel east. It's explained to you that the reason we crossed where we did was, one, because of the equipment, but two, so that we could spend time getting used to sleeping over here on this side of the wall while having the safety of the watch above. So your nights may feel odd at first, being on this side of the wall, but at least you kind of have that feeling of the safety from men with bows and such over you. 2 days pass as you guys, are able to interact more together. Starting to, be a little more comfortable together. Who's to say? Obviously, you're not buds or anything, but getting to know each other maybe a little bit better. A few more conversations in passing, a few more songs out of Saru, highly likely.
Very likely.
Xerxes just firing his gun into the air, just nonstop. I can only imagine.
Yosemite Sam.
It's 2 in the morning.
Arriba,
Just
arriba.
literally hammered the entire time.
Yeah, it's good. So your spells would come back after you sleep. Anyone that's
Oh, so we're
all those
taking a...
Can we talk through what the sleeping situation is?
yeah, what do you mean?
Like, are we all sleeping in the wagon? Like, do we have tents that we're pitching? Like,
There
how's that?
are tents in the wagon that you guys would be able to pull out. The wagon's not large enough for everyone to sleep in it.
Got it.
You could probably get 2 people to sleep comfortably in there.
So everyone's pretty much in tents.
Yeah, tents around the wagon.
Is Saru trying to sleep on anyone's chest or suffocate anyone?
Yeah, in the middle of the night, probably curling up around.
Yes,
faces.
I'm specifically trying to sleep on fucking Arthur's chest. No, not really. No.
Do we do watches, or are we does the fact that we're so close to the wall, are we waiting to do that?
Watches probably for the first, just to get used to the fact that you're going to need them. So Sir Garen would ask for watches. He would take one and such, just so that you guys could get into kind of a groove. With the amount of you that there are, sometimes people, you can kind of switch off nights and such.
Oh, yeah. Sarah would volunteer
Yeah, so would Anna.
initially.
Yeah, so you guys would be able to set up a watch, get more comfortable in the camp, like how you guys set up camp, how you guys pack it back up. For these nights, Sir Garen says, like, fire is fine, like, we're right next to the wall. Feels safe enough, right? 2 days gets you right about this direction, where you'll be approaching the river. And this will be the first moment that you guys are kind of like heading off to the north, away from the wall. You'll note the whole time Borseal is kind of like taking notes, like getting all his like many sacks of like all his shit. Like he's got pens over here, he's got paper over here. He's getting it all prepared and ready for all the bullshit that he's got going. And you guys kind of finally take this like away from the wall into the wilderness type path, the same pathway the first charter supposedly took.
How long ago was a previous charter?
2 years.
So, do we have like a moment where it's like pretty clear that we're leaving the wall and like starting the adventure?
I would say so.
Okay.
Like we are on our way.
All right. If anybody's paying attention to Anna, she will take a vial of green liquid from her pocket and throw it down.
I think it would depend on where you are in the group. Like if you're in the middle of the group, Sarah might. But if like you're keeping, I don't want to say keeping your distance, but if like you're lagging behind or off.
I'm not trying to make
maybe.
I'm not trying to make a big scene of it. So after I say that a couple times, maybe have Saru notice it. But
okay,
I'm not trying to.
Yeah, maybe not this time.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Cool. I'm half doing this so Michael knows what's going on.
I mean, I think Sarah is so like infatuated by the fact that he's actually on the other side of the God's Wall and he's actually on an expedition finally after not getting selected for the first one that he doesn't really particularly care who's doing what.
Yeah, but if anyone was for whatever reason paying attention to Anna, she's throwing back her vial of green liquid.
Oh, I have a song for this. It's just not uploaded.
Damn.
Shot.
If only we will be going on an adventure.
You guys, you don't understand how many songs I prepared for this.
Clearly.
So basically, I went overboard, and then I climbed back up on the ship and went overboard again. I have so many songs ready, but it's so. I don't know. Michael can explain it better, but it's not easy apparently to upload songs to Roll20.
It's not easy to make it so that I can get them into your shit. I think I found a way. I just have to figure out.
I don't even care if I can do it. If it's fine if you're fine with me just saying, hey, play this song, and you can upload, 10, 20, 30, 40, 60
1,000
songs. If you have space for it, then I'm fine doing that too. It's just a matter of figuring out what works best for us. But in the future,
take some tinkering.
The songs are there. It's just a matter of figuring out how we get them.
Make them work.
But pretend we're you have an adventuring song in your head. Back to Nick. Going way back, did you take the 65 gold that I offered you when we were talking, or did you not?
No.
You did not. Okay.
Going back further than that, did you give me 100 gold? Did you give me all 100 of your gold, or did you give me one gold?
I gave you all of the 100 that they gave me at the table.
Fuck yeah! Let me just update this.
Yeah, I literally grabbed, the bag that they gave me, and just said, "Who wants this?" And if you grabbed it, you grabbed all of it.
100% with no regrets.
So, yeah.
Actually, with a little bit of smug satisfaction of taking advantage of you, it was good. It was good for him.
You're playing John Bernthal better than John Bernthal could ever play John.
Nailing it.
We'll see how long it takes for me to adopt a southern accent. We'll see.
I mean, we do need to pay for that. 1.6 mil. So
It's okay. When we start recording this and podcasting, it will make millions.
make millions.
Benedict Cumberbatch, that is gonna
That's
be our
gonna be
last.
very
That's our last A-list spot. Like that's
That's
the
true.
Brad Pitt or George Clooney spot because he's looking
Yeah.
for $9 million for Doctor
Yeah.
Strange
Wow.
2.
Yeah.
So that's it. Just so you know, like Nate got him. We had the money, we made the ask. But for those of you who are uncast yet, you're gonna have to be a little bit more creative.
Yeah.
Either
well-
go back in time, get someone while they're young, aka, Daniel Day-Lewis, 1992. But we're gonna have to be creative here.
Yeah, some
Yeah, we're gonna
newcomers,
have-
maybe some newcomers.
Make sure,
Yeah,
Make
exactly.
sure when Marshall's recording the second session that you just name out the shit out of every character.
Mhm.
Or
I mean,
just,
sure you know
or
who
just
cares.
Who they are, so we get some donations and whatnot.
Or just
Some
or just
notoriety.
or just everyone cast a woman.
Yeah, that's it. Just yeah.
So that'll
Yeah.
resolve it.
Yeah, you can be totally CG, Saru, so that's good. We just need a voice actor for you.
Yeah. Who's the guy that played the Avatar character? I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, Jake Sully.
Yeah,
sure.
there you go.
I don't know.
The entire cast of Cats.
Yes.
Taylor Swift.
That can't
just
cost
gonna-
anything.
Yeah,
That-
I'm just
literally
gonna-
it won't cost anything.
Just the Disney animated character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pick one.
if we lose money, is that helpful to our casting?
Without a
I
doubt.
don't know. We'll start a GoFundMe.
Great.
If there's a moment, Steven, because we've been this is probably day 5 or 6.
On the journey, yeah.
Yeah. Steven, if he can catch Isabel alone or something, or where there's not really anyone else around.
I don't think that's hard to do.
What's that?
I don't think that's hard to do.
Yeah, I don't think so either, but I was just saying it. It will approach you, and he looks really red in the face, and he is going to give you a wood carving of a flower, and he's going to say, "Thank you for getting me. I don't know, exactly what your reasons were, but you saw what was happening, and I just wanted to say thank you. So yeah, here this is for you."
Sorry, I'm not accustomed to getting gifts of late. Thank you, and I guess I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. Nothing really more than that.
Well, you were at the right place at the right time for me. Yeah. And anyway, thanks. And he's blushing like crazy, and he'll pretty quickly scamper away.
I think Sarah's heroism played a part in this. It only lasts a minute, but maybe it stuck with him for a little bit.
There you
Maybe he got used to the feeling of being all brave and.
I love that.
And Isabel, it's it's nicely carved. It's yeah.
Oh, he spent 6 days on it. So yeah, this is.
We did it 8 times.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Not good enough. Not good enough.
Isabel will look at it a little bit after Stephen walks away, and then eventually tuck it away in a pouch somewhere.
The third day beyond the wall passes rather the same as the others. This time, Sir Garen is a little more adamant about taking the watch more seriously. Need to make sure that everyone is ready, because we're out of the comfort, like out from underneath the comfort of the wall.
Have we passed beyond sight of the wall?
What's that?
Have we passed beyond sight of the wall?
It's hard to see it, just probably more because of the trees than anything else. You might be able to see it. We're like 20 miles out, so probably can't see the wall at this point from where you currently are.
At the last little bit of viewing of the wall, Arthur would have turned back towards it and just said, "Good riddance," and turned back around and stoically stomped off to the north again.
Fent would like to pee in the wall's general direction.
Ooh, I like that. That's very good. But yeah, so the night.
I just.
If you guys want to tell me what, who's taking watches?
Anna would take a watch and would be willing to basically take a watch any night, and she would say, I don't need as much rest. I will always take a watch and look out.
Yeah, with this many people can overlap too. So.
Wow, that's gonna be so nice.
Who's on first?
Arthur can be on first. His heart is somewhat racing. He's excited at the thought of the fresh air that he can breathe once more, and at the thought that he's going back to the north, to the lands that he knows most well.
You want to give me one of those perception check-iones?
Only if you really want it.
I would love it.
God damn it.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Keep rolling.
It's good to be back, Nick. It's good to have you back.
Really nailing it.
Keep rolling.
Living up to the hype. Living up to the hype.
Pathfinder bonuses to make my characters not roll like dick.
+4, huh?
Like plus 15s.
Your
Like
watch passes
Pathfinder, you nerd.
peacefully. Yeah. Your watch passes peacefully, Arthur. Who's on second?
Anna can take second.
I was saying, did Anna volunteer? One for one of them at least?
Give me perception.
Can it be as terrible?
It's hard to say.
And roll.
It can be exactly as terrible.
It could be perfectly the same.
But I did roll a 6. So
You did roll better. So there's that. Your watch passes peacefully. Nothing interesting happens. Are you taking third as well?
I
We need
can't.
a third?
Fent
Yeah,
would take one.
there'll be 4 watches every night.
I mean, I literally could take second and third. But actually, although that's actually no, because
You
then
can have it
2
if you
hours
want.
in one and 2 hours in another.
Yeah, I don't care how you split it up. It's fine.
Okay, that's fine. I can take second and third. I'll try just to roll again. Roll 6 again.
What are the odds?
There we go.
Ooh.
Double.
Very good.
Anna is more perceptive the more tired she gets.
I think during the first watch, she was way too focused with her books and her writing and trying to figure out, what sayings she was going to pull out of her ass tomorrow. And then the second watch, she was actually paying attention.
She's memorizing quotes from
I love
wise-ish people.
Yeah, no, that's exactly what she was doing during her first watch.
She's memorizing Dr. Seuss books. One fish, two fish.
Something. Who's on the final watch?
I'll take final watch. Sarah will.
Roll it.
Oh god, I don't know. Hold on, roll 20's not cooperating.
Wow, how weird.
Right.
Your watch also passes peacefully. Wow. Wow. What a night.
Everybody gets to sleep. Bow, 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 bow.
I'm proud of everyone.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
You did more than you know. Your watch passes peacefully, and people can do their morning things that they do. If they have any, drinking weird shit.
Yeah.
Sarah doesn't put. Never mind. I can't.
Anna will take. If you're looking at Anna, she does take a. Sorry, I'm really trying to stick to the Anna pronunciation, but when I read it, I can't help myself. Anna will take. Before we set off in the morning, she will take a vial, but this one is, it's violet, like a dark violet. It is not the
So
usual.
curious about those.
It is not the. It is not the usual green that she's been taking. If you've been paying attention,
You stole wine?
it does look like the finest. It looks like the finest Barovian wine. It's just dark violet.
Champagne de Stomp.
Yeah, she bought it from. What was our winery called?
The Wizard of Wines.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hashtag Wizard of Wines vial.
Anyways, she puts one of those down in the morning before heading on her way. Maybe clinks with Isabel, who is definitely having a drink at 8 in the morning.
Probably had a drink at 6 in the morning. Isabel did take notice of what you drinking weird shitting.
In a different color.
In a different color.
Yep. This is a new one.
God, how is everybody a druggie?
Who's to say?
Oh.
As you set off on this day, you are told by Sir Garen that you'll be crossing the river today. There's a bridge down the way, not too far from here, and it only takes a few hours for you to reach it.
Does Sir Garen know that from first-hand knowledge, or from what used to be and what he presumes is still correct, or?
If you can, feel free to ask him.
What's our relationship with Sir Garen? Is he kind of like party?
He's quiet. Yeah, he's falling into that role very quickly. Like, feeling very in charge, feeling very making decisions for the party. He is the engine to the railroad, as it seems.
And was he brought into the party like the rest of us, or is he like some Sons of Briarwood?
He is a member of the Sons of Briarwood.
Okay.
Can I detect alignment, or what's the like?
Yeah,
is there,
you can try. You can insight check. You can do whatever you want.
I'd like to just insight check if he's getting off on this power of leading us, or what his.
Yeah.
Yeah, is he really leading us, or are we
God
just
damn
kind of all wah wah wah?
You can think whatever you want about him.
Huh.
So, do we get the feeling that him, Lucian, and Borealis, or whatever that guy's name is,
Or Seal.
are
Poor Seal, Lucille.
have been added to our party from on high? There was just
So I don't know. I don't think I made it clear that Lucian stayed back at the wall. He did not cross. He came with the party all the way up to the wall. You are only with Borseal and Sir Garen at this point.
beautiful. If Lucian had stayed back at the wall, then Arthur would have said, "Well, I hope I come back alive, because I plan on taking all of that gold at once."
Excellent.
And he would have said something about having that armor ready for you on your return.
Did we discuss who gets the gold for those that don't come back?
That will be waiting for it needs to be claimed. So
Aye, do that, Lucia. Do that for me. I'd appreciate it.
How did someone so greedy not take my gold that I offered him?
Yeah, I'm super curious about that.
Good question.
I don't think he's not greedy. He legitimately wanted something that would be helpful.
Like the
Gold is
armor.
helpful.
Well, what on the wall?
It's session 1. We're learning about everybody.
I know, it's just funny.
He just felt like while the Star of the South is tossing gold out like it's candies to everybody, that they might be able to toss out a couple candies more if it meant that we got better shit. But far be it from him being a part of the second party to ever venture north of the wall.
Oh, so really, Arthur just wants to be like on a parade float, like throwing candy to children.
No. He wants to be on the receiving end of the candy.
more candy, please.
Cool.
No, he's not some scum of the earth beggar type. He legitimately was trying to, and I guess I can talk about this meta because you guys didn't listen to that as your characters. No, he very much wanted better equipment and seeing all of the fancy boys in their best equipment within the palace or whatever we're in.
Fancy boys.
It's only somewhat irksome that this ragtag crew is being sent north.
Oh, don't worry. Sarah's aware that you think this crew is just
Yeah,
like a bunch of fucking wet dishcloths.
unadorned and without seemingly people that know what they're doing.
Well, that'll just make Saru's song about our victory that much better.
Oh, don't worry. Sarah is working on a song right now.
Arthur's only slightly peeved that he feels like he was kind of misled as to what kind
Yeah.
of party was being formed to go north of the
Yeah,
wall.
you think We Are the Champions by Queen is an epic song? Just you wait.
More rock opera.
Yes.
Anyway.
You hear the sound of waterfall.
Aw.
I gotta pee. Just kidding.
If it's boulettes, I'm gonna shit.
How did you know? I'm sorry, I'm trying to move people.
How long can we go before Amanda falls asleep?
Oh, we've done it before. It's
She's
I'm pretty
fallen
close.
before.
I'm pretty close. I'm sorry, my bedtime's like 8:30 since I got pregnant. I don't know, man. D&D nights are like hardcore nights. Like I drank coffee before we started.
How long before Connor falls asleep?
Is Connor asleep? I can't tell. I can't see him because he's disabled.
No, I don't have
He's
the
sitting
burden
in
of
darkness.
I don't have the burden of actually carrying a child in my body. I think it's a little different for the dads. You know?
That doesn't
Just a
seem
little.
very empathetic, Connor.
Oh, no, I am extremely empathetic to Amanda. But I don't think I should have any sort of like, when is Connor's bedtime, when, I can enjoy a nice Colorado native pills during
Oh,
TV.
yeah.
Oh, that looks so good.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm sorry, Michael. Continue your journey. Our journey.
Oh my god.
Hey, my journey.
This map is dope.
This map is dope. Yeah. All right. As you approach the sound of the falls, you see to the north something incredible, breathtaking. You tell me. A massive statue. As the falls kind of like rush around it, of a knight.
That's cool.
It is immense, and you actually see Sir Garen kind of just looking on it in awe. As is Borseal, who is like, "Hey, we must stop
We must stop. I must make sure to get this accurate on the map. This is incredible. It's not on any of the maps I've ever looked at. I'm not sure what this could be, what it is.
Sarah's gonna pipe in and be like, "Wait, this wasn't here before?"
Not to anything I have here.
And Sir Garen kind of butts in.
No, this wasn't on any of the logs or anything that I know of. No, I've been north before during the war, but I've traveled this bridge. This statue was not definitely not here before.
Wait, so you're telling me the statue appeared after the burning, when in theory nobody has been around here before?
As far as I can tell, I mean, I've never seen it before.
That doesn't even make sense.
Well, neither does a giant wall popping up out of nowhere.
Fair? This is a damn chiseled statue, not just a wall. Anybody can build a wall. That's all I got. I don't know.
Right, so Sir Garen, you first.
Me first, what?
Can't click my thingy.
Cross the bridge.
I can click my thingy.
No, we must take a quick break to take this in. I need to sketch it. I need to.
You don't need to sketch it. Just say giant knight statue. That's all.
Look at the thing. It's immaculate.
And Borsiel kind of is walking
I'm not
out.
saying it's not, but you know, giant knight statue pretty much says it all, does it not?
We need to note this down. We need to do something with it. We can't just. I mean, look at it.
And he's like pulling out his notepad and just like furiously writing, taking it in.
Sir
Sir
Garen,
Yes.
to what
Clavius.
you know, does the statue resemble anyone, anything, any legion, any type of warrior, any hint to what it could be?
He'll actually walk up to get a better look closer. He'll roll. Check for the weapon.
No, it's nothing that nothing I can tell, at least. It's obscured by the falls. Hard for me to say anything. Does anyone else know what that could be? What it represents? Does it represent anything to any of you?
Kind of speaking to the group.
Steven won't answer him, but he's gonna start like walking up along the water side, and he wants to get up pretty close to it.
Okay. Anyone else?
Would Clavius know if it resembled anything from his time spent there?
Roll a religion check. What you know is that is not the religious figure that you're asking about, or anything of that nature.
Michael, would Xerxes guess this might have something to do with his mentor's quest?
God, we all have so many like secrets and threads.
I love it. No, as far as you can tell, you wouldn't think necessarily that.
Does Arthur think it resembles his father?
Yes, his father always wore his helmet when he did the job.
My PQL completed. Give me a bottle cap.
Retconning the general store conversation that I'll email you about later.
Yeah.
Fent bought fisherman's tackle,
Okay.
and this bridge looks like a perfect spot to cast a line.
So we've gone from D&D to RuneScape, and we're now fishing for lobster.
Yeah, if anybody would like to saw down some trees.
I mean, just be
Making my
thankful. Just be thankful that Fed didn't like digging up for radishes.
Also,
That's true.
Yeah. Although if
very
we see any, keep an eye out. We planted radishes this year because I wanted them so badly. So.
Wow.
Nice.
In real life or RuneScape?
IRL.
Yes.
And strikes me as an
IRL.
onion guy.
I don't think radishes were in RuneScape. At least 10
A
years
shame.
ago when I played it.
Dude, RuneScape's back in, Preston.
Is it?
Yeah,
I
I
might
think
pick it back up.
Yeah, my
I
brother and
spent way too much time playing that game in middle school.
my brother and his
That's nerd.
roommate play the ever-loving piss out of RuneScape.
Oh, I loved RuneScape so much.
Steven, what's your passive?
Think
Always a
13.
good question.
Yep, always a good question. I'll move back to where I was just in
And
case.
yeah, and not to jump in, but that's what I'm doing. Arthur was moving back up towards Steven, having seen him kind of like skedaddle off. So Arthur was moving that way with the intent of like he's kind of like, all right, well, Fent's not doing anything about
The one
that.
thing I told him to do.
It's also
literally
not like
fishing.
Fent's only responsibility, but whatever. So
He doesn't take orders from you anymore.
exactly.
I mean, it's a pretty waterfall. Like, what trouble
Yeah,
can he get
you
into?
told him not to call you sir.
So Arthur
Yeah.
got to be about there for whatever intents and purposes. This
I love
bit
it.
holds.
Steven's walking back, by the way.
Yeah. You said your passive was 13?
13.
Beautiful. And Isabel, why don't you roll a religion check?
Oh, Isabel. I heard you say it's about time to roll a religion check.
No.
About time.
Scary threat.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
Bill's
why.
like moving up along. She had a slight eye on Steven. Glancing back at the statue and also looking down at the foliage and grass and whatnot, seeing if it seems any different on the side of the wall or different near the statue.
Yeah, Isabel, when you look at the statue, although the depiction here has a sword, it actually has a hammer. And you're pretty sure that it is a depiction of Ulfried, the Dawn Hammer. One of the Dawn gods. It looks like it's been here for a long ass time when you look at it. Like, I mean, it just looks like it's been here for a while. Steven, as you're like up close, kind of poking around, you can be walking back now, but you're fairly certain that you saw here-ish, as like the falls kind of breaks, there's mist, but it looks like there is open space, possibly a cave maybe behind the falls.
I 100% would have.
It would be hard for you to get to from here.
Okay.
Like you'd have to go into the water to get there. But yeah, you see like open space behind the falls.
If If we don't have a PC death session 1, I'm going to be pissed.
I'm just hoping for combat.
Arthur dies.
He drowns.
Arthur drowns. That's it.
Joke's on you guys. That was my
New
bad.
character.
Oh, I do have a serious question though.
Yeah.
Any bites on the line?
Yeah, so Fent, you cast a line. Roll. Where are you casting the line? You're casting it down this direction?
Actually, okay. If the water's going under the bridge in a southerly direction, he's gonna cast to the north and let the bobber kind of like get like under the bridge because he thinks that they're gonna be under.
Roll an athletics check. I feel like that's like a good sports check.
Oh my god!
Yeah, you cast it way out there. It was a good ass cast.
Like, do I get like a sturgeon or something?
Your check doesn't make you catch a fish, but it does make you good at catching a fish if a fish is there to be caught. Now, if everyone would kindly,
come on, lobsters,
not move their tokens.
Oh, wow.
What we call hands off the chess piece.
Yep.
In the business.
In the business.
That's not the right initiative music.
Amanda fished up a monster.
I'm so excited! A monster fish! Fish on!
Something happens that is quite dramatic. From the water, like intensely out from the surface, is a very large creature.
Oh shit!
Make it big.
Wow.
What the fuck is that?
Can't see what that is.
What the
Holy
fuck is that?
cow.
Shit, is that a titan? Did we just awaken a titan?
Is that like a
Good going, fisherman.
Erupting from
Can I
the
eat
water, screaming in the face of Clavius and Sir Garen, is a massive beast, just water streaming off of its surface. Electricity pulsing through its maw.
What?
It's a Pokemon.
How would it not electrocute itself?
And then the scene shifts.
What?
It's like a dream sequence.
And we're back behind the God's wall.
And back to save point.
Can't end us there.
What the hell's going on?
Scene
Wait, so
shifts.
Did he? Oh, I thought Michael left.
Yeah, bye. Michael is gone.
What's on you guys?
The scene shifts, and we come in on a darkened room. The walls made from wood, with aged, sparse furniture throughout. The amount of dust covering much of it nods to it likely being a room in a long-abandoned inn. A few beds can be seen to one side, though they're rough canvas blankets bunched together, showing that they've recently been slept in. Music's a little hot. Low moonlight comes through one of the nearby windows. Little remains of the glass that looks to have shattered long ago. A flickering candle illuminates a slim, athletic-looking figure sitting at a table just out of focus, working on something we can't quite make out. They wear dark clothes covering what looks like leather armor. A cowled hood covers the figure's head. An extra cloth kind of hangs around their neck, which could probably be pulled up around their face to make kind of like a mask or something. We can just make out some pale gray-green skin beneath the cloth. Before we focus in more clearly on this figure, we hear a set of armored footsteps from a hallway out of view, followed by the opening of an old, creaky door. Our vision shifts to a view over a familiar armored shoulder, the same we saw hours ago. during the opening scene. The figure bearing this armor stands in the doorway, looking towards the seated figure, who we can now see was fletching some silver-tipped arrows to be used along with a nearby longbow. They look up from the arrows and speak to the figure in the doorway. "Why, welcome back, friend. You made good time. Did you find her? What news did you bring?" "Yes, I've found her. She spoke of much and little all the same. Mostly riddles and prophecy, as was expected. Why, it's never straightforward with these types, is it? Remember the last time? The cards? Is there a way forward? Or back, I suppose." The elven man stands up, removing his hood, and walks toward the broken window. As he does, he reaches into the cloth near his neck and removes a golden necklace inset with a red gem. "Yes, I believe there is. She spoke of a broken paladin wandering the north, and of a sorcerer lost somewhere in the wood. She told of a wizard returning to madness, and of a familiar enemy reborn in the mist." We watch as the elf's head sinks when the spoken words reach his ears. His back to the armored figure still as he gazes out the window, still grasping at the amulet at his neck. "The prophecy, though, is not yet fulfilled, but it has been put into motion. The chosen shall step forth from the darkness," she said. "We must find them before time runs out, or shifts. They are the key for this world and for ours." The camera shifts now to the vision of the elf looking out the window into the moonlit landscape. We see large trees all around this old wooden structure and a mountainous skyline far off in the distance. Before he turns around to face the doorway, we catch sight of a large metallic figure standing vigil near the edge of the woods. Emblazoned upon its chest is the same symbol of gold and red as the amulet the elf now clutches. He turns around and we see in the doorway stands a human man in heavy armor, well-worn, dark, close-cropped hair, and the well-weathered face of one who's been through much. He has piercing, almost glowing purple eyes, but most notable are the large curled wings made from what looks like stark white bone protruding from somewhere behind his shoulders. "There's much work to do, Gildor. It begins tonight." And the scene cuts to black. And that's where we're going to leave off this week, folks.
Oh my
Let's go.
goodness.
Oh,
That was good, Michael.
I have no idea what the fuck is happening in these cutscenes. Oh, that thing is terrifying. That looks exactly like. What the fuck is it?
Well, I mean, that's what it's based on. That's what the art's from.
Oh.
Did you send a link with what you just read?
I would also. I mean, I would read it.
Yeah, I could.
yeah, definitely put it in an email or something.
I could give you the intro and the outro.
Yes.
I need.
I think specifically the outro.
You won't be getting it tonight because I need to. I'll need to take out my annotations and such. But
Fair enough.
So
because
No, you can
DM
leave those
shit.
in. That's fine.
hear me out on this. What if we played for like another 3 hours?
I mean, Nick, why are you
I'm
setting
not
the bar
opposed.
so low at 3?
I've got like 9 more beers to drink, and trust me, they'll be drank by then.
I know for a fact Nate doesn't go to bed till like 2 a.m.
Yeah,
Connor
that's true,
doesn't. Connor doesn't have to go to work till 1. I
Amanda
work from
coffee.
Yeah, exactly. Croft and Will are my only wild cards at the moment, so I don't know.
Yeah, it's basically Croft and Will, and then
This
keeping
is-
Amanda awake.
This is what I want to
Yeah.
leave you with. Is this
So
exciting?
far, so good. Oh,
That's a
I'm so
Clippy
excited.
right there. That's a
That's
Clippy.
definition of a cliffhanger. That was
Guys,
awesome.
I am so excited for 8-person combat.
I know.
Yes.
Give me that.
Gonna be incredible. And then after all the combat's over with everyone, like, because this thing looks pretty tough.
Oh, there you go. The
Yeah.
burnt.
Robert.
That pilot episode's getting picked up.
Good.
I'm just saying that there's just going to be so much like Spider-Man pointing at Spider-Man, finger pointing after this combat, being like, "You didn't tell me you could do that.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me you could do that."
Steven was literally seconds from like, hey, I think I might go swim in the water to check out that cave. So really thankful at that timing.
I was
Yeah,
pretty
there was-
psyched that somebody went fishing.